Okie dokie, I am here. Let me see if my friends are here. Hello, my friends.
We're all good. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I caught Orville talking to his phone.
Oh, I was just saying I'd silenced my phone, so...
Cool. Shut up, phone.
There'll be no... You know, the poor, humble phone being censored by Big Orville.
I was gonna say the phone is an oppressor of an oppressor to the working class.
I'm just waiting for my Minecraft to load.
Hello, Minecraft. Okie dokie. It has been a hot minute since we stuck to the home. Are we different people since we last stuck our homes?
Yes, I certainly am.
I feel like a different person. It's been 2 weeks.
I thought it'd been 3 weeks.
I just feel tired.
Yeah, I know. You spent a big day outside, touching grass, presumably.
Yeah. Not really. We're touching things from booths.
Wash your hands. Sunburn.
I did wash. Yes, I did put sun lotion on, but I still got sunburn.
Yeah, you have permission to post it outside of Homestuck chat. Nana's gonna post something for Orville to look at that will make him laugh quite a lot.
Okay.
You can put it in like info dump or something, or artist alley.
Oh.
Because it's a Homestuck related thing that I think you deserve to look at.
Okay, I am genuinely intrigued.
Yeah.
You've got me delving into forbidden.
They're typing it up as we go. In the meantime, oh yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, this is Nana's kernel sprite. Yep.
Where'd they put it?
In Artist Alley. Yeah, let me download this so that I can at least show it on the stream real quick.
Oh my god.
It's Coily, the spring sprite.
Yeah. So from Mystery Science Theater 3000, where they watch a thing. Here we go. He's now on the screen for the stream.
Yeah.
Mystery Science 3000, they watch a video in which someone asks, what would we be like in a world that didn't have springs? And this guy named Coily goes around going, no springs! And disappearing everything. So that's Nana's kernel sprite.
So it's very interesting that Nana managed to kernel the physical embodiment of physical manifestation of what the world would be like without springs.
Yep. And I love him for it.
It feels like it would be a hard one to make a. Feels like it would be a hard one to make a sprite.
All the time, I'll be out and about, and I'll think no springs.
But even while, but because since we don't know where Coily fits in God's plan, this does make him a very powerful being to make your sprite.
Yeah. Yeah, John Hammer cannot work now. No springs! Yep. I'm here, but since I'm off with the VODs, I might be in and out. Okay. That's fine. Bro, you gotta catch up. Z-snap formation. Alright. Speaking of catching up, would you like to address what happened last time?
Oh, yes. So, we started with John wandering around, interacting with salamanders, who have, like, an entire, like, item mailing-based system that their society seems to work off of with, like, mailing stone tablets.
Mm-hmm.
And, it seems that, like, the, postmistress is also connected to the system, and, like, the whatever species her and the wayward vagabond are, with their carapaces.
They are.
Then much of it was just getting formal introductions to. I mean, we've had 12 trolls implied, and we've gotten introductions to, like, 4 of them. Although, only one I actually know the name of, so 3 of them I had to come up with names for.
And boy, are they beautiful.
Snarla, Borgos, and Hornus. Although I'm, like, 50% sure one of their actual names is, like, Tauros, but...
Something like that.
But I said Hornus. I gotta stick with Hornus. So, and specifically, one of the most of the trolls, since possibly because they don't seem to be experiencing time linearly, are trying to cause events to happen. Are trying to ensure that events happen in a very specific order. Except one of them who wants to see how things would go if they went off road, if they went off that path.
Mm-hmm.
And the answer is it leads to disaster and leads to John's death, and Rose and Dave from an alternate future have to come back and prevent John from going off on a shortcut he has been provided.
Correct.
Also, Dave prototypes his future self.
From this alternate timeline,
sprite.
yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Is that your entire summarization?
Yes.
Alright. A couple notes that I wrote down in case you forgot. The land that the salamanders are in is the Wind and Shade. Land of Wind and Shade, or Lowas.
Okay.
We also saw Rose's world, Lolar, or Land of Light and Rain.
Yep.
And then you were We also saw briefly in the Doomed timeline Dave's world. It was the name was listed, but we didn't mention it. It was shown during the short animatic. It was Lohak, the land of heat and clockwork.
Okay, yeah.
You're right about the trolls having non-linear communication with the humans.
Yeah.
Land of wind and melody. Oh, I love that. We learned that the postmistress was formerly, before becoming a exile, was on a quest to get these crowns from the queen.
Yes. I knew there was something I was forgetting with that.
Has a really cool sword.
Yeah.
Which among that we see that a fourth exile, the WQ Windswept Questant, has appeared. And through the antics with them, we learn that at those ruins, that is how Jade was able to get Dave's copy of the game through time loops and purifying. We learned about dream selves. So Jade has a fully cognizant dream self, and John's is just about to wake.
Yes.
And you're right about Dave's kernel sprite of a crow and his alternate self. And that his item... Well, John's was an apple, Rose's was a bottle, Dave's is an egg. So in order to get into game, he has to break this egg, which the crow has put on top of that tower.
Yes.
In his apartment building. With the 4 trolls, Carcat seems to pester John the most by being not linear, but going completely backwards. Hornus gets sexually harassed by Dave. Snarla is trying to out-Rose Rose, but in turn ends up flirting with Rose. And of course, Borgos
is the one who's been doing all the time.
Notice none of them fuck with Jade because Jade had already had contact with them in the past and is trying to just ignore all of them.
Yeah, I think she mentioned ignoring them. Just ignoring them.
Yep. And then 2 more important facts you forgot is that the ticket manager guy, Jack, he really hates his uniform because he has to wear a frilly pink hat and pink dress based off of Rose's prototypes.
Yes.
And that John did a quick roleplay of Con Air with the salamanders.
Yes.
Alright. Anything else that you think we missed, Vlad?
No.
Okay. Before we continue, triggers for Act 4 include ableism, particularly use of the R word, alcoholism, toxic paternal-fraternal relationships, gaslighting, mild homophobia, racism, weapons, death, blood, and fictional gore and sexism. Alright. Can't remember if we read this one.
I don't recall either.
I don't either. Yeah, so this is right after we ended...
We did read this.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't remember... That's right, because I had to talk to myself, and I don't remember doing that.
I think you did, though.
Did I?
Because it was right before the sound page, and we said that was a really good place to break off, was right before the sound page.
I'm gonna be a creep and frantically run to my own YouTube channel.
Gotta check the VOD!
I gotta check the VOD. I gotta see. Luckily, it's something I can do quite quietly. 2 weeks ago, in the last 40 minutes. It's hard to do on a phone because my thumbs are so big and that little scrubber is so tiny. Oh, okay. I did not read it. I looked at it.
Didn't?
I did not.
Yeah, this didn't seem familiar.
Yeah.
Oh.
I also saw the phrase I saw the phrase little pink monkey and I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, freshly hatched human larva is a thing that I feel like I'd remember.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, okay.
It is time for
like
me.
the kind of way I would describe this kind of way I would describe a human.
It's time for me to talk to myself as a Karkat and John. I keep scrolling backwards through your adventure, trying to piece together how you botched this up so badly, and I keep finding these striking pockets of foolishness. Like, what are you doing now? Riding your little red rocket like you're a freshly hatched human larva, and this is just all big school hive rumpus respite. Humans aren't hatched in larva, dummy. We don't hatch at all. We were born as these, like, little pink monkeys called babies. Bullshit! That's not what you just told me. What did I say? I'll paste what you said. I thought you didn't like going down that road. Copy-pasting future past conversations. Why would I have a problem with that? I don't know, that's what you just told me. Whatever, look. EB, this is really weird. What's so weird about it? Well, normally humans hatch from, like, these slimy pods, and then we wriggle out as little pink larvae. Oh, really? Huh, maybe we have more in common than I thought. I was just punking you, dude. Or at least I will be in our next conversation. Thanks for the great prank idea. Why would you trick me about that? What is even the point? I don't know. It was just a friendly prank. Don't you ever play pranks? I mean, of course you do. What if you just tried to prank me? Good. What?
Someone just followed.
Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. I'm reading as Karkat. What? Who? You'll find out. Well, fine. I guess you got me back, sort of. For my trolling, even though you haven't even read my worst trolling efforts yet, because they happened in your future, and even then you didn't even mind much. Almost like you were delighted to hear it. Kinda perverse, really. What's wrong with you? Well, we're friends by then, aren't we? We're sort of like, reverse anti-mutual friends? What the hell does that even mean? Look, you're going to have to face it at some point. That you're learning the meaning of this human emotion called friendship. Is friendship really an emotion? Yes, absolutely. I guess it's hard to see how we become friends. This is so frustrating. Every time I go further back into your past and talk to you, you say stuff that pertains to my immediate future. And then you won't explain to me what's going on because it's already old news for you. Dude, you've been doing the exact same thing. I've done no such thing. I've been exceptionally informative and helpful, if justifiably acrimonious. You never answer my questions, though. How am I supposed to know what's going on or you're alluding to? This game is kind of a game of a million guides. Everywhere you turn, there's another way to figure out what's going on. So please, go secrete me an Earth River through your strange human tear ducts. You've got sprites, exiles, guardians, consorts, time-hopping future selves, mystical dream oracle doppelgangers, and if that wasn't enough, your particular group of players is lucky enough to have us to give you the scoop on stuff. Through a sort of subversion of the whole damn thing, and even though we hate you, and even though the fact that we hate you is an immutable fact as an alternative as it is, this writhing knotted hell of a timeline choking us all to death, it does not mean we have any reason to withhold any information from you, or dish it out through crypto-baffling mindfuddlery. So go ahead, ask me anything. Okay, what's the point of this game? Ask something else, I already told you that. It was this whole big conversation we had. Ugh, fine. Where are you now? In the medium, a separate session from yours. No, I know that. You already told me that. I did? Yeah, in your future. Damn it. What I mean is, are you in your house right now, or in one of your magical lands, or what? I'm just curious, because you can see me, but I can't see you, or know anything about you. We're hiding in the Veil, or what's left of it. What's that? It's a huge belt of meteors orbiting way outside Skya beyond the orbit of the planets, dividing the medium from the furthest ring where Durst orbits. Durst? The dark planet, prospects the light one near Skya. Well, geez, how am I supposed to know any of this? You'd probably find out sooner or later from your dumb grandma. But by fusing with the sprite, she has to withhold stuff and be mysterious and all, to make your adventure seem more magical. It's infuriating. Okay, so the Veil is a bunch of meteors. What do you mean, what's left of it?
Okay, there comes a time when black inevitably beats white on the battlefield in the center of Skya. The White King is captured or killed or something. That's when the reckoning starts. Okay. The rulers of Thirst, the Black Queen and King, get the power to send the Veil towards Skya to destroy it. That kind of starts your big countdown when shit gets serious. So then it's up to us to save it. Yeah, you have that long to kill the Black King and Queen. And Skya itself sort of buys you some time by activating its defense portals to catch some of the meteors. The threat gets bigger the longer you take, though. Smaller meteors come first, and they can get progressively bigger and bigger. And there's only so much of them Skya can absorb for you. Okay, but it sounds like we've got plenty of time before that happens, right? That's just it. You don't. Ordinarily, you would. Your reckoning starts much sooner because of some dumb things you've done. You completely blew it already, and you have no chance of winning anymore, which ordinarily would be fine. Just another bunch of losers to fail at this game. It's what you do later that caused so much trouble than that. And now we have to deal with it, too. Oh, no, what is it? I already told you. It's inevitable and completely pointless to talk about anyway. Yeah, well, maybe you're wrong. Maybe there's something we can still do to stop it, if you just help us? I'm not wrong. It's all right here in front of me. You fuck up royally, end of story. Okay, we'll see about that, Mr. Sourbulge. Hey, aren't you kind of uncomfortable sitting on a meteor? Are you all huddled in a crater or something? No, there's all kinds of crazy shit in the Veil. A lot of these meteors are kind of like big seeds. Seeds? Well, what kind of crazy shit is there? Stuff, like buildings, facilities, like labs and stuff. Weird. Yeah, the Veil is kind of like neutral ground for the kingdoms like our planets. Some places are used to genetically engineer soldiers and agents for the two sides, using genetic material from the exotic menagerie of chess pieces on the battlefield to help fuel the war and keep raising the stakes. Wow, I don't think I'm following this. Yeah, no shit, but you'll find out when you get there, since you were in the Veil when we last talked. Anyway, that's more than enough info for you to think about and be less stupid in time for conversations we already had. I'm out of here. Okay, but wait. Can you give my message to GC for me? Tell her a nice try. What? Why would I give her a message for you? Do it yourself. I'm not a relay service. Oh, well, I thought you'd be cool with it since you asked me to give her a message for you last time, but whatever. I find that highly implausible. I'm not falling for any more of your human pranks. Nice try, John.
So, GC is Borgos, right?
Mm-hmm. Alright, let me pause my music, and then we'll go to this sound page. I've been waiting for this one.
Also, hi, Shrapnel.
Hello, Shrapnel. It is not loading for me. Fuck. Oh, no. Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh, no.
Obi.
Bean.
Hot lady alert. Oh, yeah. Probably one of my most favorite animations.
So he just went full Kefka and murdered his boss and ascended.
Because she was force femming him.
Yes. Well, yes. Well, that's the part that's different. Kefka's boss was just a old man in a funny hat who wanted to rule the world.
Yeah.
But the
Jack is against the femboy agenda.
yes, no, the well, yes.
Yep, and we also see, you know, the Guardians fighting in respective planets,
Yes.
and that what he took the finger off with was the box that PM was trying to get to John, which is Jade's gift from the car.
Yeah.
Alright, Homestuck has been live for 1 year. Pretty fucking cool.
This is what, like the 4th anniversary of Neil banging out the tunes?
Yep. Those tunes have been banged out. Alright, let's locate the fourth wall.
Neil was the anticipation of Homestuck.
I'll send you that album that we just unlocked. Alright. Locate the fourth wall. Activate.
Good.
Who's that? Any guesses?
Andrew Hussey?
Yep. AH, engage in highly indulgent self-insertion into story. You see the painting?
Yes. So should I so who's Andrew Hussey, I guess?
You can be Hussey if you want. He's basically like a narrator. He's basically sort of the narrator.
Okay. I feel like he has to have something different than just my general narration voice.
I don't know what he sounds like.
I feel like I kind of want to give him like a kind of pretentious voice. Oh, no! He's Dave Weiner. What? Oh hell no! This is always such a terrible idea. Leave me alone.
Alright, examine wall.
You really wish your side of the wall had an off switch. Which is to say, I really wish my side of the wall had an off switch.
AH, forget it. Go back to work.
Okay, you're just gonna ask me to recap Homestuck though. I don't know why you'd want to sit there and watch me type. This is going to be pretty long.
Alright, AH, recap the first year of Homestuck.
Homestuck began on April 13th, 2009, the 13th birthday of our chief protagonist and future boy Skylark, John Egbert. 3 days prior was supposed to be the day he received the Spurb beta in the mail, but he was running late. It showed up later that afternoon, and after overcoming a variety of domestic adversaries, he retrieved the game along with a birthday package from his internet friend, Dave Strider. John soon established a game connection with another friend, Rose Lalonde, who'd spent the day badgering him about playing with her after unsuccessfully attempting to convince Dave to play. Upon connecting, Rose was able to manipulate John's environment, move his furniture around via cursor, and restructure the shape of his room. John was unable to do this to Rose's environment, however. He'd installed the client copy of the beta and required the server copy for that. The server copy was trapped in his dad's car, along with a birthday package from another friend, Jade Harley. Jade messaged John inquiring about the package. As of this moment, neither her package nor the server copy had been recovered by John. Rose had also prepared a package for John, but had not mailed it yet. It still sits in her room. Dave's package contained the authentic stuffed bunny from Con Air. In addition to allowing Rose to control John's environment, Spurb provided an array of devices Rose deployed throughout John's house. These devices used together provided a system by which the players could manufacture any item using the code on the back of that item's capsulon card, if they gathered enough grist to pay for it. Later, they would learn to combine item codes to master the art of punch card alchemy, whereby items could be fused together in purchase and design. One device upon being activated began a countdown and released an entity called a kernel sprite. The countdown ticked down to the moment John's house would be struck by a meteor, destroying his neighborhood. To escape this demise, John had to use the devices to manufacture a special item that looked like a blue apple, and to take a bite of it, in order to transport his entire house just before impact to the safety of mysterious dark realm, where his house would situate itself atop a tall rock column high above a blanket of clouds. This realm is called the Medium. Before he entered the Medium, though, John and Rose prototyped his Colonel Sprite with a large Harlequin doll his dad got him for his birthday, transforming the sprite to bear its likeness, including the ways the doll was disfigured via earlier hijinks. It had a slashed eye and one arm, and so too did the sprite. When John entered the Medium, the sprite's kernel hatched, thus imbuing all the enemies John and his friends had faced with properties of the sprite. The lesser adversaries John faced first, Shale Imps, all wore Harlequin garbs. They became more powerful and more radically mutated with each successive pre-medium prototyping. After entering the Medium, John's dad was kidnapped by imps. While John was looking for him, he accidentally prototyped the sprite with his grandmother's ashes, transforming it again. This prototyping had no effect on the enemies, since he was already in the Medium, and the kernel had already hatched. Instead, only the sprite was affected, and it took on the appearance, personality, and memories of his grandmother, becoming Nana's Sprite, a game-supplied, albeit customized guide for John. She explained aspects of the game about Skya residing at the center of the Medium, beyond 7 gates floating directly above his house, and about an eternal, timeless war fought there between dark and light, one that light was always destined to lose. Rose, who had been having frequent internet connection issues, lost her connection as she tried to lift John's car to retrieve the game in the package. The car fell into the abyss below. Its storm caused her house to lose power along with its wireless internet connection. Her laptop was able to run on battery power for a time, while she tapped into the wireless signal from the laboratory next door. When her laptop ran out of power, she had to overcome more family strife, and endure a gift pony in the process, go outside in the rain, and plug it into the small generator outside of the mausoleum of her dead cat, Jasper's. She continued her session with John inside the mausoleum, while the meteor-spiked forest fire surrounding her house grew more intense. From the house, Rose's mom opened a secret passage to the mausoleum to help her escape. The passage led to the lab next door, where Rose found a stable, portable source of power and internet for her computer. She also found a terminal projecting impact times and locations for the millions of meteors presently bombarding the planet, along with all the other live sessions of other players around the world. She also found a little girl's room, a mutant kitten she named Vodka Mutini, and a little cloning machine operating through the science of ectobiology. Its terminal was locked on to her cat Jasper's at whatever point in his life the user specified. She attempted to purify Jasper's from a moment in her early childhood before he whispered a secret to her, but doing so would have caused a paradox, so it paradoxified a pile of slime instead. The machine used the slime to create a fetal paradox clone of Jasper's in a glass tube. On the monitor, Jasper's then told young Rose the secret, then vanished, only to show up dead weeks later and put in the mausoleum for years until the present. Rose left the laboratory moments before it was destroyed by a meteor impact. She transportalized back to her mom's room, proceeded to her room to wait for Dave to connect with her and rescue her from the next imminent impact. Dave was charged with acquiring his bro's copy of the game to help Rose. Earlier, he had lost his copy of the game to a mishap involving a crow. It flew in his window, seized the game, and Dave accidentally impaled it with a sword, sending the crow and the game out the window to a landing far below his apartment. He searched his bro's room, unable to find it, was briefly shadowed by little Cal, and then found a note beckoning him to meet him on the roof for a confrontation. Dave and his bro dueled on the vote extensively, and Dave was thoroughly bested. Upon defeating Dave, his bro dropped the copies of the game and flew off on his rocket board into the sky. Okay, sorry, I can stop that. I can stop with that. I'm not going to reread what I've covered already, but I'll just do normal narration from now on. Andrew Hussey has been forced back into his pod. Dave used the copies to connect with Rose and quickly deployed the devices, while her house was on fire, surrounded by flaming tornadoes and minutes away from being destroyed by a meteor. Rose prototyped her Colonel Sprite with Jasper's, specifically to understand the meaning of the secret he whispered to her years ago. She was advised to do this by Jade, who told her about the game in the first place. Dave then prototyped the Colonel sprite again with a tentacled princess doll given to Rose on her birthday by her mom. Both of these prototypings would have an effect on the enemies once Rose entered the medium and the Rose used the alchemitter to create the special item, for her, a purple wine bottle, which she needed to break to enter. She eventually did, transporting her house just before the meteor collided. The meteor left a crater. Over time, at the site of impact, a large white structure that looked like a wine bottle grew there, and the crater filled up with sand as the climate of the post-apocalyptic Earth gradually changed. The cork of that bottle was a large metal cylinder with an interior much like an advanced science station, with a variety of devices and monitors inside. 413 years after the meteor impact, the wayward vagabond walked through the desert and discovered the station. Inside, he found canned rations, a firefly he named Serenity, and a purifier, and 4 monitors hooked up to a keyboard. On one of the monitors was John, just after he'd entered the medium. WV could type commands to John directly, much as the readers of this story could type commands for the characters to follow. Most of John's actions upon entering the medium were authored by WV, until he became preoccupied with other activities, such as building a town out of cans, playing chess with cans, and drawing chalk murals depicting the cosmological arrangement of Skaya, the medium, light and dark planets known as Prosper and Durst, and the 4 planets the kids would each occupy upon entering the game, called the Land of Wind and Shade, John, the Land of Light and Rain, Rose, the Land of Heat and Clockwork, Dave, and Jade's Planet, which is yet to be seen. He also activated a countdown in the station, which caused it to blast out of the crater, to fly to designated home coordinates. Along the way, it passed over the sand-filled crater that was the impact site for John's meteor on the other side of the continent. John's meteor had caused a giant white tree to grow in the crater. The tree grew an apple-like station from a branch, which fell to the sand. The peregrine medicant found the station. After WV flew overhead, PM activated her station's homing feature as well, which caused it to fly to the same destination. Along the way, she used her terminal to attempt to command Jade, who from the perspective of the terminal had just arrived in the medium. This caused the terminal to explode for unknown reasons, leaving a hole in the station. One of the station's robotic worms recovered one of PM's falling mailboxes, and she befriended it after earlier slaying another one with her black Regisword. WV landed at the site of the ancient frog ruins across the now dried-up Pacific Ocean. The site was once the island where Jade lived, but nothing of the island remained except for the ruins. The mountain her house was on, and the volcano next to it were replaced by a large empty chasm. PM landed shortly after WV, and they met. They were confronted by the aimless renegade who fired at them from the frog ruins with old weaponry he'd been hoarding, once belonging to Jade's grandpa. Millions of years ago, the frog ruins grew from a crater struck by a meteor that emerged from a spurred portal in space, and Jade's radioactive, omnipotent, space-warping dog named Becquerel emerged from this crater as well. Jade's grandpa pioneered this island and built the house Jade lives in. Her grandpa has been dead for many years and stands stuffed in front of a fireplace. She's been looked after by her dog, who she calls Beck. She begins the day with several tasks to accomplish: to feed Beck and to retrieve a birthday package mailed by John. She irradiates a stake and heads outside to the site where the package will be dropped. She knows it will be dropped there because of one of the reminders she wears on her fingers jogs her memory about it. She wears them to keep track of the many things she knows about the future through dreams. She falls asleep frequently and spontaneously. She sleeps, her dream self is awake, and living on the moon that orbits light planet Prospect. Prospect very closely orbits Skaya, a huge sphere of blue sky and clouds, which Nanda describes as a dormant crucible of unlimited creative potential. When Prospect's moon eclipses Skaya, it drifts into Skaya for a time, mingling with the clouds. Dream Jade then witnesses many past and future events in the cloud. While she is asleep, she is often confused about what is real and what isn't. When she wakes up, she pieces together future events from her memory of the cloud visions and from logs recorded by her Dreambot. Her Dreambot is a robotic surrogate that activates while she sleeps in her bed. It mimics in the real world the movement and actions of her dream self on the moon, and records a video log of what she sees while dreaming. Prospect's moon has 2 towers of identical design and similar design to Jade's house. Dream Jade lives in one tower, Dream John lives in the other. The Dream John is still asleep, and John has no knowledge of the dream world, which is to say, the entire game session he would initiate on his 13th birthday. When he goes to sleep, instead of waking up on the moon as Jade does, he remains slumbering in his dream room, tormented by his subconscious. This torment is expressed when he sleepwalks and draws troubling scribbles on the walls of his room. When awake, he cannot see the scribbles, as his subconscious suppresses his awareness of them. It is not until he has a perception-altering revelation about his dad does he begin to see them. He initially believed they were new additions to his room, perhaps scrawled by imps. However, they were present long before, visible in his room while he prepared Jade's birthday package months ago. John prepared a package for each of his 3 friends, whose 13th birthdays were December 1st, Jade, 3rd, Dave, and 4th, Rose. He gave Rose a knitting set, and she took an intense interest knitting. He gave Dave the pair of shades Ben Stiller wore in Starsky and Hutch, which he wore from then on, replacing the shades in the style his bro wore. He gave Jade a blue version of his own ghost shirt and some pumpkin seeds to help her replace the pumpkins that kept disappearing from her garden. But she did not receive this on the birthday John intended. She received it in the past on her birthday when she was very young, causing her to take an interest in gardening in the first place, to take a liking to blue apparel, and to eventually to befriend John over the internet and lead him, Rose, and Dave down a path where they would ultimately play this game together. Yeah, no, this is not particularly. I imagine it's not particularly exciting to listen to, but it's fairly useful for me.
Yeah.
Because this is helping me memorize. This is helping me remember details I might have forgotten. But if the best I can say about this specific point is that it's a study aid, from an entertainment standpoint, I feel like, yeah, it's mostly just useful as a recap for readers, long-term readers. I wouldn't say the base comic itself is particularly boring. I'd say like half of it so far has been boring and half of it has been really engaging.
Exactly. There's parts where you're like, yeah. Because, like, remember when we did the Act 4, start of Act 4 thing with the walk around? And that's when I said that I didn't find Homestuck interesting until then. And Jill was like, damn, you really read 4 acts until you were fully engaged? And I'm like, yeah. I kind of found it boring at first. But everyone kind of just, that's the cool thing about the community, at least, is that everyone finds really interesting things at different points. So, like, everyone gets hooked at a different point. And for a majority of the fandom, it really was the troll act. But you won't understand what the fuck is going on in the troll act if you don't read through the boring shit.
No, yes. Which this actually happens to explain, explain very well. Shrapnel, do you want me to DM you once this part is over?
Okay. That solves that.
Anyways, this is also just good as a break, because I think I'm like halfway through this.
Yeah, you are. Go jerk one out, Shrap. Get your anger out through some meat beating.
It is the oldest and one of the most efficient ways to relieve stress. Jade did retrieve his package in the present as planned, but immediately took it to another location where it disappeared. WV in the far future purified it from that location on accident. The package contained further instructions for him. He was to bring it for 2 p.m., and she was to use her station's sendificator to send it to another place in time. After she did this, the package appeared in front of young Jade on her birthday. Jade orchestrated the sequence of events through knowledge of them by her cloud visions. She orchestrated similar events for the package she sent to John, plotting the circuitous route through time and space it was meant to follow. She again utilized the Exiles for help while they were still in the medium. The Exiles, WV, PM, and AR were all formerly agents of the Kingdoms before they were exiled by some means to the post-apocalyptic Earth. AR, as an authority regulator in the Land of Wind and Shade, discovered the package and the beta copy in John's wrecked card as he gave it a parking ticket. PM, working as a parcel mistress, recognized the package from a correspondence she had with Jade on Prospect some time ago and recalled it must be delivered to John. AR would not relinquish the package, although he did give her the beta, which she delivered into a Pixis to satisfy the carved request of a mini-tablet. John carved this tablet at the request of PM through the command terminal in the future. AR brought this package to Durst, where it ultimately wound up on the desk of Jack Noir. Jack is the Archagent of the Dark Kingdom, charged with overseeing affairs to his office's fenestrated wall portals and processing paperwork. He's forced to wear a silly garment in keeping with prototyping themes by the Black Queen, an order he resentfully complies with. He oversaw the imprisonment of John's dad, who broke loose on multiple occasions. When Jack went to handle it personally, John's dad set Jack's hat on fire. In a surly act of gratitude, he released the prisoner. John's dad fled to the land of wind and shade, fought larger monsters, got his hat dirty, and lost a shoe. He then carved tablet requests for new ones, which John filled via Pixis, unaware of who requested them. PM followed AR to Durst in hopes of retrieving the package. After wandering around, she encountered the Black Queen on a throne. Both the Light and Dark Kingdoms each have a king and queen. The queen sat on a throne on Prospid and Durst respectively, ruling the planet. The kings command armies on the battlefield located at the center of Skya. The queen takes on the attributes supplied by the prototypings due to the 4-orbed ring she wears. When the ring is removed, the queen is restored to normal. PM showed the BQ a parking ticket she was pretending to deliver. The BQ directed her to Jack's office where the ticket should be filled. PM met Jack and asked for the package. Jack proposed a deal and gave her a black Regisword. If she would kill the White Queen and White King and bring him their crowns, he would give her the package. She accepted with little alternative. She then visited the WQ on Prospid and explained the situation, with no intention of carrying out Jack's mission. WQ, understanding the futility of their situation and the need to recover the package, abdicated and gave PM her crown and her ring. PM was instructed to go find the White King, retrieve his crown, and receive further instruction on what to do with the ring to protect it. WQ would then eventually exile herself to Post-Apocalypse Earth. On Post-Apocalypse Earth, after AR fired on WV and PM from the ruins, he spotted WV's pumpkin, which WV had earlier purified from Jade's house. He recognized the carving of Beck's silhouette on the pumpkin. Fearful of it, he surrendered. The three exiles soon became friends over a campfire and shared rations. WV and AR built Exile Town out of cans, mailboxes, and bold. PM operated WV's station terminal to submit commands to John as he explored the land of wind and shade. In the sky, another station teleported and fell to the ground. It was shaped like an egg and originated from Dave's meteor impact site, and corresponded to the egg-shaped item he would use to enter the meteor. Emerging from the station was the windswept Quested, formerly the White Queen. AR and WV sought to impress WQ by crafting a crown for her out of a mailbox. She refused the distinction, instead giving it to PM, who had successfully completed her mission to deliver Jade's package to John in the distant past. The means by which he went about this have yet to be seen. John entered the land of wind and shade, LOWAS, or Lois,
Lois.
by having Droz build up his house to the first gate, fighting through many imps and ogres with his powerful new alchemized weapons, and entering the gate. This took him to a location beneath the clouds, far below his house. The Lois turned out to be a large windy planet full of dark terrain, incandescent trees, networks of pipes, and oily rivers. In addition to hosting more powerful adversaries, the land is occupied by friendly consorts, a race of salamanders. They help John understand the mythos of the land and inform him of the planet's persecution by a sleeping denizen, which is responsible for clogging the pipes with oil and trapping fireflies under the clouds. Each planet has a sleeping denizen which the players must first wake and then kill in the course of their journey through the 7 gates. Rose's planet, the land of light and rain, Lolar, is a multicolored ocean planet with white sandy islands and pink ruins, and has a denizen responsible for killing all life in the water. Dave's planet, the land of heat and clockwork, Lohak, is a lava planet covered in industrial steel frame structures and turning gears, and has a denizen of yet unknown qualities. His planet basically just looks like Metal Man's stage from Mega Man 2. With, like, a dash of Heat Man.
I don't Megan Man.
Killing the denizen releases a huge grist horde buried at the core of the planet, which is then used to fuel a process known as the ultimate alchemy. Along the way, the kids are meant to learn about their destined roles in this quest as the Heir of Breath, John, Seer of Light, Rose, Knight of Time, Dave, and Witch of Space, Jade. Over the course of their quest, the Dark Kingdom will inevitably affect the Light Kingdom. The Black Queen and King will take control and initiate the Reckoning. This affects a belt of meteors called a Veil, which orbits far from Skya between the 4 planets and Durst, and is hopes to various labs facilities used by the kingdoms. The Reckoning causes the meteors to descend on Skya, ultimately destroying it unless the Black Queen and King can be defeated in time. Skya, however, buys time by opening defense portals to catch many of the meteors, redirecting them elsewhere in space and time. This is a generic template for the way the game is supposed to proceed. It can deviate from this model, however, depending on the actions of the players, and the details of the game mythology presented is unique to each group of players in their session. Long before John and his friends started playing the game, another group of players had been persistently trolling them, particularly Jade. They are furious about an action she will take that will cause major problems in the 4 kids game session and inevitably lead to their defeat. Specifically, Jade will send a package to John, apparently containing a powerful weapon, later. But the package winds up in the hands of Jack Noir, leading to dire consequences. They allude to other things she will do that will lead to not only trouble for the 4 kids, but the troll players as well. The trolls consist of 12 kids from an alien planet who went through the same process as John and his friends, escaping from the annihilation of their planet via meteors and into the medium to play the game. The game session is entirely separate from that of the 4 kids. It is the same basic template with its own Skya, Prospect, Durst, Vale, and a planet for each troll, but separate game instances of these. They also have separate instances of the same character templates, such as the kings and queens and agents like Jack Noir. The trolls have completed their game session with yet unknown results. They now reside on a meteor in their Vale, sitting at terminals trolling John and co. From their terminals, they can choose any point in the past or future of the kids to troll and observe what they're doing at that moment. As a group, their only stated objective is to harass the kids, which they do so haphazardly through different points in the kids' timeline. Although they can choose any point in the kids' timeline to talk, they are mostly resigned to the understanding that no matter what they do, they can't change the outcome of the kids' actions. The 4 most vociferous trolls so far have been Carcinogeneticist, Gallows Calibrator, Grim Artillatrix, and Adios Toreador. Or, in other words, Carcat, Borgos, Snarla, and Hornus. The other 8 being Apocalypse Arisen, Twin Armageddons, Arsenic Catnip, Arachnid's Grip, Centaur's Testicle, Terminally Capricious, Caligula's Aquarium, and Cuttlefish Color, each yet to be heard from.
So that was like, when we read that, we were like, ooh, more things are gonna come. I want to know those characters.
The... CG appears to have spearheaded the group's trolling campaign. While he was in the thick of his game session, the Exile commanding him from a terminal in the apocalyptic future was Spade Slick. This is one difference between his game session and John's, who had WV as an Exile commanding him. In CG's session, his version of Jack Noir became exiled along the way and took on the name Spade Slick. 3 other agents were exiled, and the 4 of them formed a gang called the Midnight Crew and spent years building up a dark city in the future wasteland of the Trolls' dead planet. Another difference in the troll session is that at some point along the way, the Black Queen was also exiled, later joined a rival gang called the Felt, assumed special powers that make her highly inadvisable to kill, and came to be known as Snowman. It was not until Slick confronted the Felt in their mansion that he discovered that the station terminal could command CG, and not before Snowman blinded him in one eye, severed his arm, and locked him in a vault. Each troll has a different trolling strategy, and a different rhythm by which they hop around the kids' timeline to chat with them. CG's strategy, for the most part, was to begin trolling them at the very end of their adventure, the moment in which he was most angry with their actions, and then gradually work backwards, mostly talking to John. This proves to be mutually frustrating, though, as John knows less and less about the situation the further into the past CG goes. Similarly, the further into the future John progresses, the more he has the advantage over CG by knowledge of his future conversations with him and vice versa. Over the course of the opposing directions of the 2 sides of the conversation, John learns more about the nature of the game and why they're being trolled, and in spite of hostility, they gradually befriend each other through and inevitably alluded to both sides of the conversation. I would be very curious as to the word count of this thing, because I'm pretty sure that my capstone papers were shorter in college.
Yeah, but you also got some pretty interesting lore that you didn't know or probably didn't catch up on. Like, I'm sure that you didn't catch up on the fact that the Felt was their version.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
No, this is useful.
Yeah.
I'm just commenting on the length. It's a pain to read aloud.
Yes.
And I'm very glad that like a third of the way through, I dropped the Dave Wiener voice.
Yes.
Back early in the correspondence between John and CG, which is to say late for CG discovers he needs to get in touch with Jade, who refuses to talk to him in that time period. So he delivers a message to her much earlier, months in her path, telling her she needs to contact him when she's in trouble. She'll know what to do when her dreambot explodes in the future, an outcome that has not yet happened. 2 other trolls, Grim Artillatrix and Adios Toreador, GA and AT, have only targeted Rose and Dave thus far. GA has hopped arbitrarily back and forth in Rose's timeline to talk to her, is attempting to cultivate a friendship with her that now seems rigged through a series of conversational time loops, while seeking counsel from Dave on how to befriend her. AT sought counsel from Rose how to troll Dave more effectively after getting severely counter-trolled by him. She's under the impression he rebounded nicely, though. Gala's calibrator, GC, has stayed mostly linear in her trolling patterns and has done so under the guise of helping the kids on their quest. She convinces John to take a whole shortcut through his land, shows him the Denizen's palace, leads him to warp back to his house, then shows him how to fix the faulty rocket pack he made earlier through an alchemy missile. She tells him to use the rocket pack to fly up to the 7th gate, enter the Denizen's palace, and kill it in its sleep. He complied with this and flew through the 7th gate in spite of reservations from Dave, who just entered the medium moments before and took off. GC also assisted Rose just after she bested an ogre with ease. She counseled her on understanding her role as the Seer of Light and the meaning of the voice in her head as an exile issuing commands from a terminal. In her case, it was exiled White Queen issuing commands from the egg-shaped station in the future. Since Dave is Rose's server player, the terminal station from Dave's impact site issues commands to Rose. Just as the situation as Rose site, which WV found, issues commands to John, her client player. After conversing with GA, Rose found Jasper Sprite and interrogated him about the secret which she found so maddeningly mysterious years ago. She explained elements of the mythos of the land and how she'd need to learn to play the rain to produce the musical analog of a genetic code to reintroduce life into the ocean. In response to her question about his secret, he simply replied, "Meow." She mistook this for more nonsense, but it was in fact the secret he told her years ago. The 4-letter sequence meow unlocked a genetic code in her subconscious, which she would spend years crawling on her wall using those letters in places as typically used GCAT letters, while completely oblivious to the scrawlings and their meaning just as John was. As Jasper said, she would understand their meaning when her dream self wakes up. Rose's dream self lives in a tower on the moon of Durst. Dave's dream self lives on the same moon in the other tower. It was suggested by Rose's future self, who was fully awake in the tower, that Dave had already been awake in his tower, realizing it. This was suggested in a conversation she had in the future with Dave. It was an alternative future timeline not meant to be. This future timeline came about by the series of events. Dave was able to enter the medium by connecting with Jade as a server player. Jade got copies of the game from the Frog Ruins after she delivered John's package to her past self. She snuck into the ruins while Beck was asleep and retrieved the game from a Lotus time capsule which had been ticking down for millions of years. The game was Dave's copy from the future, the same one that fell out of the window with the impaled crow. After she got the game, the time capsule started ticking it down again, set to expire 413 years later, when the exiles are there. She dropped some items in the ruins, leaving them there for AR to find, and leaving her base jammed in the elevator. Beck then found her there, took her back to her room, and grounded her there for the rest of the evening. She quickly helped Dave set up the game, upgrading his alchemitor heavily, and crafting the special item he needed to enter the medium, a red egg which needed to be incubated and hatched to activate. She prototyped his kernel sprite with the impaled crow, which would affect the enemies later, including the Black Queen. The sprite built a nest on top of his apartment's antenna tower and stole the egg to incubate it for hours. A very large meteor was soon bearing down on his city. Dave then entered the medium through a series of unseen events. Jade was asleep, thus forbidden by Dave from interacting with his environment at all. Jade complied for fear of retribution. Dave was faced with a crow sprite, which appeared to be suggesting he prototype it again with the remains of Little Cow. Dave consulted with John on this, who was about to rocket up to the 7th gate. John had no advice and proceeded up through the gate against better judgment. Dave prototyped the sprite with Cow. John entered the palace, presumably found the denizen, and was easily killed by it, as was the intent of GC's trick on him. This meant John could not establish a connection with Jade to rescue her from the looming meteor, and Dave and Rose lost contact with her, presuming her dead. Dave and Rose then spent the next 4 months in the medium, advancing as far as they could to collect information before Dave decided to travel back in time to change events. Dave used his timetables to go back to the moment he was about to prototype with Cal. Both he and his past self strongly urged John not to go through the gate. John was reluctant at first, but soon reconsidered and flew down beneath the clouds. Future Dave then gave present Dave all his advanced gear and prototyped the crow sprite with himself to make Dave's sprite, thus serving as his own guide from the future. Before going back in time, future Dave convinced future Rose to go to sleep. He suggested her dream self would be unaltered by the timeline shift, and in her dream state she would remember the events from the future. When Dave went back, Rose's future dream self assumed the position of Rose's present dream self. Rose fell asleep, and on Durst's moon she instantly woke up. She then saw all the genetic scrawlings she did in the meow letters and understood their meaning. Meanwhile, on Durst below, the Black Queen again insisted that Jack Noir abide by the dress code. He refused, and the Queen threatened him. He picked up Jade's package to Gone, removed what was inside, and used it to slice her ring finger off. He then killed the Black Queen, put on the ring, and donned the full upgrade supplied by the 3 prototypings. He then became Jack Spur's Noirlacroix, which is a name I just made up now. And then after you started watching me type in this ridiculous study, I photoshopped for myself with my cool horse painting propped up in the background.
And there you go. You're pretty much caught up on the lore now.
Okay! I will message Shrapnel.
Yeah. Well, if you see here, I didn't read any of that. Do something less boring.
Okay. So?
Do something less boring.
MSPA reader, shut the hell up.
Well, the reader would say that, so that'd be like...
MSPA reader.
Ooh, Black can be the reader.
Yes. The Y has not said a word yet, so...
Shut the hell up.
Love it.
Okay.
Retrieve arm from background.
Huh? Oh, cow, please, not now.
It was a little fan-made creation that was pretty popular on Tumblr. Why don't you keep drawing Homestuck or something?
Oh, but I don't need to draw Homestuck. Type arrow. I'm about to make a joke.
Okay, arrow.
I conjure this intrepid fantasy-scape with tears bled from the wisdom-weary eyes of 50,000 imaginary magicians. I pull heavy drags from the brooms of inspiration with enchanted bellows marauded from a guild of churlish mythical dwarves. Vast bulbous and riddled spiders push the silken strands of pure whimsy through hideous abdominal spinnerets, and it is that with which I weave this audacious cocoon of exquisite lies. And when it hatches, a great mouth of titillation will awaken and roar and beat its wings, and the powder settling down will arrest the humors of an enormous, terrible old beggar, relaxing the vulturous, leathery vice grip he's affixed around your captive mind.
This is stupid. Stop being a wise ass and get drawing. Oh no!
Alright, it won't be... Oh.
He's drawing on the Pictionary modus.
Alright, it won't be that exciting to watch though. I'll pull up Photoshop again. Here's the file I was using for the fourth wall. What do you want me to draw?
You show us what's going on with John again?
Sure. How about if I drag the content from one of the John files under the fourth wall layer, so we can make a more graceful transition out of this ludicrous, highly disruptive self-insertion arc?
That sounds like a good idea.
Oh, and then you can type something like switch walls view to show us what's going on with John. Here, I'll prepare the GIF file for that. It'll just take a few seconds. Go on, go ahead, say that.
Switch walls view to show us what's going on with John.
You decide, and that's entirely enough of that. If this website becomes any more self-aware in a playfully self-depreciating yet weirdly self-aggrandizing manner, you're going to go drown a bag of puppies in the sewers. Yeah,
Shrep literally just missed the part where... Here, I'll go back, well...
There's a part where they said, this is so boring, I didn't read any of it.
Yeah, I didn't read any of that. Do something less boring. Shut the hell up. Yeah. So, you're not the only one. And then Ozzy's like, asshole, I do this shit because I want to. And then everyone bullies him into going back to, doing this. And you're gonna go drown a bag of puppies in a sewer, aren't you, Strap? Because you're pissed that you had to hear about a quarter of that monologue.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's see what's going on with John. John, answer GC. Ooh, flag time, yay! What's this?
Dear Wild Man, with your second gate labeled, so you can go there.
Oh man, let me drop everything and go there because I'm in such a huge hurry to take more of your advice.
John, please, give me one of your human breaks. I feel awful about killing you. Even though technically you never even died, so I don't know what you're bitching about.
Yeah, well, Dave said I did, and I believe him.
That is because he and you are best pupa pals for life. Can't I be your pal too, John?
I don't know. I thought you were okay for a while, but now you're kind of giving me the creeps.
Gigas, John.
What?
I am invoking the name of your Earth Gigas to express frustration.
You mean my Earth Jesus?
I don't know, do I?
Do you have a troll Gigas?
John, we have the best troll Gigas. You don't even know.
Wow, really? Or is this a joke?
It's a joke. I'm not really sure what a Gigas is.
Well, neither do I guess. It's pretty much not anything.
John, will you please follow the map? Let me earn your trust. If you don't like what's on the other side of this gate, you can just turn around.
Okay, I'll take a look. They do have a troll Gigas. We'll get there. Google Lowas. Yeah, it was basically a spark notes, yeah. So there's John, he's point A. I think... Yeah, you could just like... Hussey painstakingly made this stupid... I think this might be based on an actual... thing? I don't know how he made this. Like the actual planet, but you see there's a... At some point there's a bee pointing at a portal. John, proceed to the second gate. So he flies up. John, enter. Yeah, a real map, but colored different. Right.
Also, it strikes me the medium is basically the Outlands from Planescape, down to the fact that there's a spire with the central locus point of reality on it.
Yeah. Alright, John, enter.
You spend the next 20 minutes staring at this image before you realize it's not a flash file.
Yeah, because it's got the loading percent. And I'm assuming that it creeps up to maybe like 99 or something after like 5 minutes. Alright. And there he goes through the portal to Lolar. Lands inside of Rose's house. Into Rose's room. This is the first time John has been in the same room as one of his friends. Ever.
Oh. Interesting. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
But it is true.
Yeah. John, get up.
Despite the pandemonium of your entrance, Rose is still sound asleep. She must be really tuckered out. It looks like this little guy is awake and ready for action, though. He is adorable. You decide to name him Dr. Meowgon Spengler.
So this cat has 2 names. Alright, John, answer Dave.
Wow, okay. You're a little early, but also that's fine, I guess. Also, you suck at rockets.
Ah!
What?
She tricked me again.
Who?
GC. She told me how to get to the second gate, so I went through, but it took me to Rose's house instead. Another prank.
Dude, you did go through the second gate. I mean, I don't know why you would listen to her again. Kinda moronic with this whole other issue. She didn't trick you this time.
Oh, then I don't really get this.
What were you expecting? This is how it works. The progression of gates is like this whole round-robin thing. Cycling through each planet. Gate 2 on your planet leads to Gate 2 on Rose's. Then you build up to get to Gate 3 above her house, which leads somewhere else on her planet. Look for Gate 4 somewhere there, which leads to Gate 4 my house, and so on.
Wow, okay.
Ordinarily, Rose would have already gone through her Gate 1, but she's sleeping pretty hard, obviously, and ordinarily wouldn't have gone through Gate 2 until her house is built up, so you wouldn't fall to your death. But you got your cheat rocket, so that's fine. See, we got to coordinate on this thing.
Okay, how do you know all this?
Fuck, come on, dude.
Oh yeah, you're the orange Dave. Hey, no offense, but do you think I could talk to the real Dave for a second?
God damn it. I am the real Dave. You know, the one who actually saved your life. I'm more real, actually, because I've been through some heavy shit already, hopping on red hot gears and I-beams for like a year, and grinding shit out for your ungrateful ass. Here, check out this code from the future, not that you deserve it. WIIN1989Q. You're welcome. You're fucking welcome.
Wow, calm down. I'm sorry, that's not really what I meant. I mean, of course you're the real Dave, but what I mean is the Dave from my time is also my friend, and I guess he's in the same boat I'm in, not knowing stuff at all, and I'd feel bad keeping him out of the loop.
Yo.
Oh, hey. I think I pissed off your future self.
What did you do?
I said he wasn't the real Dave. I think I might have really hurt his feelings, though.
Don't worry about it.
Why not?
Because I wouldn't give a shit, and he's me.
Okay. I'm in Rose's room, by the way.
What? Really?
Yeah, but she's asleep.
Okay, don't go anywhere. I'm coming down to the computer.
Okay.
Dave is here. He wants you to use the computer. Probably help you scope out Rose's room and snoop and stuff. I mean, that's what I would have done if you were alive. So I'm gonna go, use these flappy ghost wings and tear shit up in time and space or something.
Sure. Hey, Dave.
What?
In case I forgot to say so before. Thanks for saving my life.
Yeah.
Alright, John, Snoop.
Snooping as usual, I presume.
Yeah, he's poking her pretty good and she's not moving.
Okay, I don't know what I think you're doing here, but I think we can both agree that you've got to rush through as much of her shit as possible before she wakes up.
Man, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't really like the idea of capering around her room while she's asleep. It feels weird. I'm gonna wake her up.
Dude, no, come on. She's out like a light anyway. It was like some weird future thing that happened that made her sleep.
A future thing?
Yeah, shit doesn't get more clear than that.
Well, yeah, she won't wake up, so I guess so. But I'm not snooping.
Fine, don't. But here, just do this one thing. See those two notebooks on the floor behind you?
Yeah? They look sort of like journals. I don't think I should read those.
You don't have to read them, I'm not telling you to. What kind of prying tool do you take me for? Just pick them up. You know, like tidy up a bit since you made a royal fucking dump of her room just now?
Oh, okay.
Pick up books.
Now I need you to do something else. This is important. Like for important game reasons and stuff. Take the card the books are on, flip it over. So you can see the code.
Wait a minute. I see what you're trying to do. I won't tell you the code for Rose's books.
Dude, you don't have to tell me the code. Just flip it over and let me know if there's a code there. That's all.
Okay. I guess. Yeah, there's a code.
Alright, cool. You can ditch the books now if you want. Maybe put them back on the floor so Rose doesn't think you were snooping. Seriously, you've got some grubby fingers, bro. Why don't you mind your own business there? What is even with you?
Dave, I think all this laughing made me poop in my pants too hard.
Isn't that your birthday package there?
Oh, yeah, I think it might be.
Maybe you should look at it. I don't think it counts as snooping since it's technically yours.
Yeah, maybe. I wonder if she finished. She was so tight-lipped about the damn thing, I am really curious.
Dave, zoom in. And takes a screenshot of the code.
Yep, I figured that was
Yep.
what he was doing.
We see Rose flying around Durst.
The ruse wasn't quite a distraction,
Yes.
but it was a ruse.
She's floating around with the ball of yarn. Then we see Cal. Dream Cal bouncing around Dave's room. And she bonks Dave on the head with the yarn. Which knocks out real Dave. Wakes up Dream Dave. And Dream Rose waves at him. And here we are. Seeing each other. John, check Rose's bookshelf.
I like the sweet bro and Helen
Yeah,
Jeff.
on his walls, yeah.
Oh yeah. You eye your birthday package again curiously. It's awfully tempting to peek inside. You feel guilty about it for some reason, even though it's yours anyway. You suppose a perusal of her bookshelf would be harmless enough, just a bunch of books. The knowledge within is meant for everybody. Dave pesters you with a message. Which you decide not to bother with dignifying with the whole pester log ordeal, because it's probably just him being a truculent jackass again, so screw him.
John, look at a book. The big man has the answers.
You find a book full of beautiful poetry and groundbreaking philosophical thinking by American sports legend Charles Barkley. These are words to cherish. This is a man to treasure.
All right, John.
It makes me think of Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden,
Yeah.
which was a game made around the same point as this.
All right, John. Take book.
And you could see it feels very Homestuck adjacent.
Yeah.
You capsuled Rose's autographed copy of This Ocean, Charles. Jewels of wisdom like this don't just fall into your lap every day and shouldn't be parted with lightly. You doubt she'll mind if you borrow her book. She's always trying to get you to read her weird books anyway.
John, oh, just open the package already.
Should put Hoops Barkley in Cyber Dwarf and Homestuck. We never got the sequel to Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden. You can't take it anymore. You're going to see what's inside.
Hey, tell us what's inside. It's a bonoi.
Yep.
But the bonoi has been crocheted. John?
Yes.
Oh, you get a letter! From Rose!
John, I never got to thank you properly for your gift. Yes, the words were there, language comprising the familiar veneer of gratitude rubbing off with each tired favor traded for. A God bless to a sneeze or a few pennies cradled in a receipt, perhaps it's the deplorable romantic in me. But I thought your present, in our friendship, demanded reciprocation surpassing by some degree the utterly meaningless. Proper thanks, I thought, would be a demonstration that your offering was not in vain. Yes, maybe some would take your suggested alternative to make gloomy preoccupations as a passive-aggressive jab. But I know you didn't mean it that way. In fact, I'm sure reading about it now is the first time the notion has occurred to you. John, please stop rolling your eyes. The letter is down here. The gift in this box is the resurrection. I used your present to thread life anew into a tattered heirloom. As long as I can remember, its black, greasy appendages have been tethered limply to its ratty, porous carriage. Too delicate to wash, too dear to discard. I used to love this rabbit. Now he's yours. I trust you'll find this to be adequately sentimental. Happy birthday, Rose.
John, put the bunny back in the box.
Oh, yes! This is from Charles Barkley Shut Up and Jam Gaiden.
Yeah! Chaos Dunk!
John is either far more powerful than Charles Barkley or far weaker, because his Chaos Dunk does not destroy the planet. This gift from Rose is so cool. 2 sweet bunnies on one birthday? What are the odds? In a fit of enthusiasm, you shut up and jam the bunny back, executing a textbook Chaos Dunk. Millions would have perished if everything in the ocean weren't dead already. Oh, okay. So that's it.
Yeah.
He's actually exactly the same power as Charles Barkley.
John, take box.
Which means Charles needed to climb up his echelon higher, and then he would have been able to survive the Battle of the Monstars.
Yep, everything
In this
leads
case,
to
it's actually
Homestuck.
true! You gently Chaos Dunk the fragile bunny back in the box and capsulog it. It is such a nice present. You'll have to write Rose a thank you note and tuck it under her hairband or something. Wait, no, that would probably be creepy. This bunny still reminds you that you still have a salamander in your Silodex. She's holding the bunny Dave got you. It's sort of uncanny how similar they are, aside from the knitted enhancement. Seriously, what are the odds? So weird.
Going to plug beloved daughter.
You release Dear Precious Casey. She was probably getting antsy in that card. You think you'll leave her here with Rose. A dangerous quest is nothing to embark on with a sweet, innocent little girl stashed in your inventory. You aren't actually sure if she is a girl, though. don't even know if salamanders can be girls. Aren't they hermaphrodites or something? You don't know anything about biology, unless it is biology that has to do with ghosts and slime. But even then, you don't actually know anything. You just sort of pretend you do. Looks like a troll is bugging Rose.
Alright, John, answer troll.
If they are like earth salamanders, they do have males and females.
I'm supposed to antagonize a few members of your trivial species. I have to start somewhere, and someone. So I am starting with you, and now. It is going to be pointless and unpleasant, mostly for me. Actually, you know what? I'm not really feeling this at all. Goodbye.
She's not here right now. She's asleep, but okay, see you.
This is your human sarcasm that I've heard about, that you always use, and that is basically a terrible way to communicate.
No.
I thought that was the thing you did. The rose human specifically.
Oh yeah, that's me. I am the rose human. Look at me. I am so smart with all these snooty words and complicated things to say. I am the queen of the books.
Okay, these are definitely insincere statements. Why do you work so hard at being so awful?
I'm just so burned. These burns are crazy. Can't we just cut to the chase and be friends already? These cat and mouse games are so dumb. You know we're just going to all be friends at some point anyway.
Have we spoken before?
I don't know. Maybe. It's hard to keep track with all your time nonsense.
Now that I think about it, it is pretty conceivable that I will talk to you again in the past after this conversation.
That's because you guys are always do things the hard way, and the dumb way.
I should figure out how the viewport features of this application work, so I can see what such a primitive creature looks like.
Well, I know what you guys look like. You look like, kind of like, Howie Mandel from Little Monsters. Even though, to be perfectly frank, he was kind of a big monster, because he was a big goofy adult, and Fred Savage was like his child prankster sidekick.
Is this an adversary you have encountered on your quest?
No, it's a movie. You should ask John about it, because he thinks it's awesome, which it is.
It seems you put stock in John's assessment of things, even really uninteresting things that are pretty terrible to listen to. He is either the leader of your party, or you hold whatever the human equivalent of mating fondness for him is.
Yeah, I got him this really cool bunny for his birthday, and it's really nicely knitted and everything, because I am basically in love with him. You are right.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm sure John knows it's because I am really thoughtful, and I bet he really appreciates the present and would say thank you if he were here.
Okay, human courtship is definitely a strange thing, and it's sort of blowing my mind listening to this. I think I'll talk to someone else now.
Why don't you talk to John?
Maybe. When along his timeline would you recommend communicating with him?
Oh man, I don't know. Why don't you pick the time that will make the most complicated mess out of everything imaginable? You know that's what you're gonna do anyway.
Considering that you're obviously not that smart and basically understand whipping bug-winged fuck all about the most elementary temporal mechanics, I'm a bit perplexed as to why I find myself so vehemently fondling the short end of the antagonism stick here. Kind of irritating. I'm going to talk to your comrades, this John human, and figure out what's going on.
Okay, if you talk to him in the past, he'll understand even less buggity-whipped fuck all about time, and he'll be confused, so maybe paste something from this conversation to him. I don't know, and if you talk to him in the future, he'll probably know all the stuff, like things you've said to him, but haven't said yet. Then you'll be confused. Sorry, that's just how this works. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Consider me fully briefed on the matter. Until next time, Rose. Next time in the past.
Yeah, bye.
Here we see.
Ooh, yay!
And GA is now going to talk to, or excuse me, Snarla is now to talk to another troll, who I want to be.
Oh, interesting. You're gonna have to come up with another name. Who is going to voice this troll?
Me.
Okay. I'm waiting to voice a troll.
I know which
but
ones you'll do.
Okay, good.
You're not too busy still setting up the network. Perhaps you could come show me how to activate the viewport.
I am in fact too busy still setting it up. Whoa, here's an idea. Press F1.
My keyboard is missing the F1 key.
Why? Don't bother me, I'm not in the mood. If I see one more snarl of wires kind of jutting out and being tangled or whatever, I'm going to perform some sort of athletic fucking somersault off the deep end and call from the president or some shit. So go away.
You used to like to talk more. If I recall, I was typically the one who would solicit reprieves from your nonsense. So I don't know what happened.
That was before I knew we were all going to die, and no one believed me. And now look at you, and all believing me suddenly. Uncanny.
Then why are you doing this, setting up these stations for us?
To get you all off my bulge about it. But I won't troll any of them personally, no way. Kind of juvenile. But you guys go knock yourselves out, okay? See the menu up top, fiddle around with that till you open up the viewport.
I did fiddle with it, to no avail.
If you can't figure this shit out by fucking around, don't belong near computers. Kind of like with registered sex offenders in school. If you move to a new town and if you have to go up to your neighbor's door and warn them about how stupid you are and give them a chance to hide all their innocent technology and vandalize your house. And we see the glasses of the individual who is typing, holding an F1 key in his hand, getting bonked on the head.
F1 bonk.
Yeah. Does Orville have a idea of who this is?
Vorlock?
Well, a little hint. Look at the color of his shirt.
Oh, black and yellow. Oh, this is Solix.
Yeah! I'm proud of you. You know the name of 2 trolls that you've met.
Okay, so this is Solix. Okay.
Yep. Which thank you, Vlad, for naming my character Solix in Pokemon.
So,
Alright.
I guess next troll gets to be named Warlock.
Here we see Snarla poking Solix on the back of the head. Ooh, and then we get a sound page. Rose and Dave, shut up and jam. This is another one of those like interactive ones where you just like click on it and it just changes the music that's playing. Nothing like lore deep.
Okay.
But my favorite song here is Octoroon Rangoon, which is a Toby song.
Tobean.
Hey, Tobean folks.
Tobean Fox.
Yeah, the caption under the page. Would you like to read it, Orville? Are you there?
Doorbell?
Oh, yes. Dave shows you some of his sweet gear. Wow, he is so cool.
Yep. And then it's also just showing little flashes of things like
Yeah.
Dream, we saw Dream, sweet bro falling down a flight of stairs. Alright, next page. We see Dream Cal pestering Dream Rose. She throws him out the window. Rose, first be the pony, second follow mom.
You are now the pony. You stand outside some ruins with your beloved master's mother entered recently. Outside, you find a striking scarcity of oats or greenery or anything at all that is delicious to chew on. This is as compelling a reason as any to follow her inside.
Nipplehoof, enter.
You go in the ruins. Your clopping hooves echo through the cavernous and foreboding environment, but you're too stupid to be nervous. Your powerful snout detects the scent of Rose's mom. Rose's mom! She went this way.
People have follow scent.
Good grief, look at all this grist. A large and terrible monster must surely have been slain here.
People have collect grist.
You pick up all the grist and store it in Rose's grist cache. This is entirely too much grist of too many exotic types for such a low-level player. But you'll take it. You don't look a gift horse in the pink heart tattoo. The grist overflow is gathered by the grist gutter, a utility supplied by Grist Torrent. It is stored and gradually redistributed to other players.
Actually, it's called the cutie mark.
I was thinking that.
Maple Hoof, proceed.
Rose's mom stands on a small platform and disappears. You are a little nervous about transportalizing yourself. As a quadruped, grisly bisection strikes you as a very real possibility, even though you're too dumb to think about such things. I mean, yes, but ponies still had cutie marks. If I recall, Friendship is Magic was like the 4th generation.
Yeah.
Real Chads enjoyed one or more of the first 3.
Actually, yeah, the first episode aired October 10th, 2010. So 6 months from when this was posted. Anyway, we see Maplehoof stand on the transportalizer and transports away. Sister and Amanda weren't allowed to look at My Little Pony before Lauren Faust got her hooves on it, yeah. Alright, John, first be the hat, second find Dad.
Rose stops being the pony just in time for John to start being the hat.
Right.
Since Maplehoof is the Homestuck character I was assigned, if they're ever voice, then I want to do the voice. And I don't know if the pony is, so.
I think I would just do a Mr. Ed voice.
Alright, proceed.
The breeze carries you to where you need to go.
Right.
You settle in front of a man in sore need of a fresh hat. He gathers the clean hat along with a shoe he found through similarly serendipitous means to replace one he lost.
Alright. He turns around and sees a very familiar-looking fellow standing with a very familiar-looking book.
Colonel Sassacre.
Yep. They lock eyes, question mark, from across the forest. And he heads that way after him. There's Grandpa on the transportalizer, and he goes away. Dad on the transportalizer, and he goes away. John visit Rose's alchemitor.
You decide to try out the code Dave Sprite gave you.
John, make item.
The thing is huge and costs a fortune. 500,000 pieces of build grist, garnets, diamonds, and gold in a single piece of quartz. There is no way you can make that, let alone wield it, even with your ghost gloves.
John, shrink it down.
Fusing gems just makes me think of Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Use the Alchemitor's scaling upgrade to reduce it to a more manageable and affordable size. You make a weapon called Fear No Anvil!
John, pester Dave Sprite. So what is this? The thing the code made?
Really powerful hammer.
And you know, I thought you couldn't use hammers.
I can't. Better be, though. Got it from Hephaestus.
Who's that?
Really tough to kill, dude.
You killed him for it?
Nope.
How'd you get it then?
Shenanigans.
Okay. Let's check out Dave's computer.
It seems you have a visitor.
And then she wakes up. Yeah, just chill with me. Yeah. Fix GA's computer.
There's nothing to fix. Just got to open the viewport. It's easy.
Yep. We see the window, the Trollian window, and what the interface looks like, and how they contact the kids. We see him click it open. Rose, examine laptop.
Someone has been using your Pester Chum account, and you somehow doubt the culprit was this young upright amphibian presently throwing a fit.
The core. Rose, go find John.
I mean, I'm also amphibian coded.
Yeah.
You hurry to the door so you can catch John before he goes gallivanting off somewhere. Although I do guess that these specific amphibians are more nana-coded.
Yep.
But it seems your door is ajar. Funny, you don't remember leaving your door ajar, even though it's sort of absurd for you to take note of such a thing, considering John recently left your room. Oh well, it doesn't matter. You'll now proceed through this door uneventfully.
Proceed through door uneventfully.
You get dumped on by a bucket full of hellacious blue phlegm aneurysm gushers as a thoughtful but mischievous thank you gesture from John. Your prankster's gambit plunges to an all-time low. You cannot hope to defeat Egbert in a prank-off. He is simply the best there is.
John, equip trusty rocket.
Rose obviously isn't waking up anytime soon. Might as well take some time to explore and maybe stop by again later.
Rose, like, is so close from actually physically meeting her, and yet... Alright.
Why? Dr. Meowgon, do you want to come along for the ride? Sure looks that way. Okay, hop aboard then. Adventure awaits.
John blast off. So he does. Rose sees him blast away.
Where is he off to now? At least you have this little fellow here to keep you company. You will name him Viceroy Bubbles von Salamancer.
Dave, be the puppet.
You have no idea what the hell that means. But yeah, you can kiss that obnoxious puppet goodbye. Maybe now you can get a decent night's sleep.
Then we see the locale falling down. And landing right on the rocket board.
Okay, so this is the most ridiculous thing you've ever seen. What is taking place here is almost certainly illegal. You're not sure which laws are being broken, but it is probably a lot.
They are to follow. He follows Cal on the transportalizer. John, explore. Whee! See him landing.
You spy a boat. Oh.
Go
You
ahead.
spy on the shore of one of the islands below. You wonder who could be out here rowing in the middle of the ocean.
John, investigate.
Hoof prints in the sand. The mystery deepens.
John, enter.
There are many frightening and powerful monsters in here.
Like a cockledge. John, aggress.
I believe Vlad has to voice the sound effect here.
Yeah.
Crazy damage, bonk.
You stun them with the cool time powers of your awesome new hammer and then dispatch them swiftly.
John, click spoils.
The good Dr. Spengler helps you gather the riches.
John, proceed.
There's a platform over here. You guess you'll go stand on it. Oh wow, it just made you disappear.
Right. And we see this meteors with buildings on it. Zooming in on that. Boom. There's John inside the lab. John, explore lab.
Now what in the hell is going on in here?
John, explore.
I was laughing at Nana's comment.
Yeah, me too. John, explore lab further.
Now what in the hell is going on in here?
John, who cares? Just ride the pony already.
Yes! Fuck yes! Hell fucking yes!
Right.
But seriously, what the hell is going on in here?
Yeah, I still don't know. John, but seriously, keep exploring.
You find a sweet getup. It's almost as if it were tailor-made for you. How weird would that be?
John, put it on.
You equip the junior ectobiologist's lab suit.
John, examine nearby station.
Now what in the hell is going on in here? Of course, it's obvious what's going on in here. It's another one of those 4-monitored house-shaped terminal thingies.
AR, resist the urge to ride bro's rocket board. Fucking sick, bro.
You fail to resist the urge. You start thrashing up stunts to something uncanny brutal on your quest for mad justice, yo! And get this way rude municipality under control. Shit is basically flying off the hook. It's like shit wants nothing to do with that hook. The hook filed for divorce from that shit and is now seeking custody of the hook and the shit's 2 kids.
AR, pop a fucking wheelie.
These hops are unreal. Shit this flagrant should be illegal. It probably is, but you don't care.
And then we see Prospit. PM, prepare to depart for battlefield.
You have traveled to Prospit's moon to board a shuttle headed for the battlefield. There you'll seek the counsel of the White King.
Then we keep going and we see a little fellow with a very large hat.
You have unwittingly been tailed by a nefarious courtyard droll from Durst.
And then his little cat ears. Alright, CD, pick PM's pocket.
You pilfer the White Queen's ring.
PM, depart.
None the wiser, you board the shuttle. Next stop, Skya.
Right.
You receive an incoming message from the Draconian Dignitary. You tell him you've got the ring. He says good, bring it to him while he waits for an update from the hegemonic brute who's been tracing the movements down on the battlefield. Yes, if you're still wearing that ridiculous outfit. He says you don't have to anymore by orders of the Sovereign Slayer. You say you'd still rather wear the outfit. He's got nothing to say about that. No. Hussey's character writing is very good, and Hussey's very good at just writing very silly prose.
Logarithmic.
It's a goddamn mess.
Yeah, Logaria. But yeah, I love that Courtyard Droll is okay with the femboy agenda.
Yes.
Alright. We see Dream Jade doing a karate pose.
Yep.
She kicks CD in the face. Yeah, we get a sound effect of... Get a sound effect.
Hold on. My thing's lagging.
117.90.
Clobber.
Then...
Additional pummeling.
Then...
Dead Grandpa Smackdown.
Then...
Sweet.
And...
Catch.
And now she has the ring. And CD's got the little squiddles floating above his head.
Yeah.
Right.
It's too late. She's gone. You'll have to remember to deliver it later somehow.
Okay.
The best way to remind yourself that you're carrying a ring is to put it on your finger.
Just a little doodle here.
Of course, that was just an imaginary transformation, since the ring doesn't work like that on humans. It was fun to pretend, though.
Meanwhile, in a timeless expanse.
Somewhere a war-weary villain rues eternal struggle against feuding royalty. The battlefield holds little promise for the peaceful life of a simple farmer.
Ah. WV Rise Up. Familiar fellow.
Yeah, no, if you combine this shit with the character writing, and you have really good stuff.
Yeah, Shrek will like the next act for sure. Act 5 is, like I said, the peak act. So we see why WV hates monarchs, as was said in his introduction.
Yep.
Alright, Rose, alchemize a whole bunch of cool stuff.
I don't know if I read the shit let's be Santa or not.
Go ahead.
Shit, let's be Santa!
Why'd you say it like Yoda?
I was trying to go for my Jeremy voice, which is like, Jeremy?
Yeah, because he only says his name like a Pokemon.
Yeah.
Alright, Rose, combine hub and laptop. I love the loot they get, it makes me so happy.
You make the hub top! That one was pretty obvious.
Combine bronzed vacuum and umbrella.
You make the bronzed vacuum umbrella! Useless, but you're still getting warmed up.
Combine salamander and eldritch plush.
You make a huggable soft salamander plush! You award it to the Viceroy on account of good behavior.
Combine ink bottle and gushers.
You make a box of bodacious black liquid sorrow gushers. My immortal gushers. Another Crocker nightmare rears its ugly head. The ink reverses the healing properties of the blue phlegm. These are pure poison.
Combine hubtop and hairband.
You make the Hub Top Band, a convenient hands-free computing device. And it looks like it detects power level.
Yeah. Rose, combine magnetic W and bottle of vodka.
You make a bottle of magnetic vodka!
Vodka.
Or magnetic vodka!
That's a play on how vodka is actually pronounced.
Yeah.
In addition to having high alcohol content, liquid inside appears to have magnetic properties. You guess this could be useful?
Combine wizard statue and ball of yarn.
You make a ball of silken wizard beard yarn with magical properties. It has magical properties because it is made of a wizard. Maybe you can make something with magical properties that is more useful than this.
Rose combine wizard statue and knitting needles.
You make a pair of needle wands. They crackle with the magic energies. It is time to make something cool to wear.
Combine knittings and velvet pillow and squiddle shirt. The best outfit she has, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that outfit fucks.
Mm-hmm.
You make a stylish velvet squiddle knit dress.
Combine needle wands and grimoire.
You make the thorns of Oglogoth. The needles seem to shiver with the dark desires of the Deep One. Any sane adventurer would cast these instruments of the occult into the furthest ring and forget they ever existed.
There she is with all her loot. And then all the the ogres and whatever, denizens. Rose aggrieve encroaching malefactors. And she just looks really fucking badass.
Yeah.
Okay, and she does her thing.
Welcome to the party, motherfuckers!
Jade, build.
You take advantage of Dave's nap to make some architectural headway on his building.
And she's building pretty good.
You're really proud of your floor pin. It is written in her text color, so Vlad.
So cool!
Yay.
Speaking of naps, you've been asleep for some time yourself. You suppose you'd better wake up soon, but then your neighbor in the other tower is supposed to be waking up soon too, and it sure would be a shame if you weren't around to greet him.
Dave, wake up and jam. More Christmas.
And by jam, you mean alchemize, of course. Whoa, your house is huge suddenly. Anyways, let's get this party started.
Dave, combine sunglasses and iPhone.
You make a pair of eye shades. This one was really obvious. Future Dave had a pair, but he took them with his when he prototyped himself. But now you have a pair too, so that's cool.
Combine
This is Google Glass before Google Glass.
Yeah, if Google Glass was cool. Dave,
Yes.
combine timetables
good
and
point.
computer.
You make the turn top. Convenient computing on the go. Sort of like you have with your eye shades with all your important files and apps on there. Not to mention sperm. Plus, maybe it has weird time power? You have no idea. You'll mess with it later.
Combine puppet tux and smuppet. My favorite outfit of his.
You upgrade the puppet tux Future Dave made. He probably made it by combining one of your bros' badass marionette suits with your shirt and scaling it up to fit. That's how you would have made it anyways. You add a smuppet to the mix to make a softer and more stylish red plush puppet tux. It is like walking around in snuggly pajamas. Action pajamas!
Combine broken collard scratch and ruby contraband.
You combine a couple more items you got from Future Dave's loot stash. Broken form of Khaled Scratch and some ruby contraband, whatever the hell that is. The resulting item costs a fortune. You have no idea what it is.
Review item with holopad.
You momentarily reconfigure your alchemitor upgrades to make use of the holopad extension. You pop the card in the slot and check it out. The combination would produce the Broken Scarlet Ribitar.
Dave, combine hold, collard scratch, and ruby contraband.
Out of curiosity, you try it again with a whole sword. You dial that Khaled Scratch little turntable, rewinding the sword to a point in its history before it was broken. You then combine it with the red frog thingy to show the complete Scarlet Ribitar! But there's no way you can afford to make that yet. It costs even more now. Maybe you'll stick to combining items around your house for now, rather than stuff from your future Sylladex. It'll be less confusing that way, and probably less expensive.
Combine shitty sword and Hella drawing.
Oh! No! Is this? Is this?
You're close.
You use one of your bros' really shitty swords from the fridge and print out of Hella Jeff to make a sword? I don't know, that one felt like sword! That one just feels like it should have a weird set in a weird voice.
It's okay.
This thing is so unspeakably shitty, you're having a hard time even holding it. No, I just meant for like the first time it's announced.
Yeah.
As I have announced, all caps items!
Come on! Combine Snoop Dogg photo and mini AC and call it a scratch.
You make the Snoop Dogg Snow Cone Machete! When foes drop it like it's hot, they just turn up the Blizzizzle nozzle so they chillax for Rizzle.
Nice! Combine skateboard and Hella Jeff drawing.
You make Unreal Air!
And then it just floats up.
And there it goes. It is ridiculous what kind of air this thing is getting. Dude, come get the ruler, check this out. Yeah, it's not coming back.
Dave, make another one.
You just make another one. You quickly stash it in a card so it can't escape from above.
Combine Game Bro magazine and timetables.
You open the clock and make a vintage Game Bro. You think you remember this one from your bro's stash. It's a classic.
Combine Batarang and Midnight Crew poster.
You make a whole pile of Sudarangs because they are really cool and pretty cheap.
Combine Plush Puppet Tux and Midnight Crew poster.
You make 4 aces suited. You aren't really sure which one you like better. The red one is softer while the black one is sort of stiff and starchy. Anyone wearing this suit is all's business. Maybe you'll switch it up as your mood dictates.
Combine Plush Puppet Tux and felt poster.
I'm a great magician. Your clothes are red. This would make the felt duds if you had some of whatever that green grist is.
Combine Smuppet and felt poster.
You make a jutting out and impudent felt plush. You do an acrobatic fucking pirouette off the handle and into his heart. And he into yours.
Combine Dead Things in Amber and Smuppet.
You make a foam mutant Smuppet encased in amber. Now we're getting somewhere.
Combine Dead Things in Amber without the Smuppet.
For the sake of science, you'll line combine them instead of ampersand combine. You make an amber mutant Smuppet abomination. So cool. Now this is how you make shit work. Egbert and Lalonde should be taking note.
Combine Fetus in a Jar and Mr. T Puppet.
You make the foam fetal Mr. T in a jar. Another backbreaking victory for science.
And there he stands cool with all his shit.
You're looking pretty chill with your new freak show entourage. The underlings all look kind of put off by it, though. You're kind of weirding them out.
Combine Camera and Capture Log card.
You make the Capturoid Camera! You can use it to snap a ghost image of any object without capture logging. Spits it out on a brand new capture log card every time. Could be a useful way to take a large inventory of anything you encounter without cluttering up your Scylla deck. Also for grabbing codes for stuff you can't ordinarily pick up.
Dave, take photo of self.
You take one of your patented ironic cool guy self-portraits. Man, so cool.
That's really all there is to say on the matter.
Combine Fetus in a Jar and self-portrait photo.
That would apparently make Dave's brain in a jar! Gross. Costs a king's ransom, though, because of course the organ is virtually intimidable. Doesn't stop you from capturoiding its hologram, though.
Capture the hologram of your own brain.
Okay, that's probably the weirdest thing you've ever done, but okay.
Combine brain and spage drawing and capture camera.
You make the Spagifier. Finally, something useful. It costs you negative 1,000 units of artifact grist.
Dave, try it out. Bro, where'd you go? I was going. Oh wait, no. Vlad does sweet. Does Hello Jeff.
Bro, where'd you go? I was going to show you my chops. Ah, dude, are those wings?
Time to fly up away to the sun, you fucking piece of garbage.
Okay. The only thing that's left to really do is watch that whole ass fall.
Looks like it automatically prints out a Sweet Bro and Hella Jeff comic in some way related to whatever you take a picture of. This should save you a lot of time, specifically the 5 minutes it takes you to draw a comic. You're a busy guy.
There he stands with all his cool shit. Make copies of Rose's journals.
Can't forget the most important thing you came up here to make. Gotta be getting your snoop on.
Take a look.
What? Nah, his is significantly more energy. His is significantly more energy efficient, and he's not stealing. And since he's doing it with his own work, he's not stealing it.
Also, he's got his own brain as part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's actually yeah, it's an actual AI. Yeah, in this case, it's an actual AI and not the shit ass algorithms that.
Is it really artificial though? Is it really artificial if it's his actual brain put into it?
It's his brain being used as a processor for an artificial. In the same way I'd consider robo brains from let's say the same way I'd consider, like, I don't know all the robo brains, but certainly Skynet from Fallout.
I'd say it's more of a weird cyborg.
Okay, I think that's fair. I think that's a fair interpretation as well. One book is titled Meow. The other is titled Complacency of the Learned. Gee, wonder what could be in Meow.
Dave, read it.
Me or Vlad?
I don't think it needs to be read. If you open it up, it's just...
I don't think it's possible to read that all.
Yeah. It's just meow, meow, because it's the DNA code.
Meow, 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 meow.
There we go.
Over and over again.
Thank you, Blaine.
Meow, 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 meow,
meow, meow, meow, meow.
It's just meow mix.
Yeah, meow mix. Right? Next page.
And no surprise at all, this book is full of more meow letters. Looks like Rose is totally nuts. What else is new? You guess you'll try out the other book. Looks like it's some sort of creative writing project.
Dave, read Complacency of the Learned. If Vlad wants to read this.
Sure.
It's not as long as...
Friglish bothered his beard as if unkinking a hitch in a long silk windsock. A more pedestrian audience would parse the exhibit as a nervous compulsion, behavior to petition contempt among the reasonable. He was, however, not surrounded by the reasonable, but the wise, a distinction in men that would forever the difference in history's garland of treasured follies. As a matter of fact, his cadre of fellow wizards were all putting similar moves on their beards as well. Practice would evince thoughtfulness, sagacity, even if they didn't do it all the time. Standing in line at the bank, shooing squirrels from bird feeders. Few occasions were safe. Zazarpan inspected the clue, a single piece of evidence cradled in his gracious old man palms. It was a human bone, not striking in the tale it told alone as much as that told by the thousands like it, stewing in the marshy soil of the mass grave. The grisly expanse bore the texture of a decadent desert, like one of Smarnie's formidable custard trifles wobbled out on wheels for the holidays, to the dismay of a small nation. "You're certain of this?" asked Friglish. Despite what he was doing with his beard, he was in fact immersed in meaningful contemplation. I'm afraid I'm becoming more so with each terrible tick groused by that gaudy timepiece slung around your neck. In case it wasn't clear, Friggleish wore a clock. Ezrapan didn't care for it. It was magic. The massacre of Sirs Nelf was not as written. What had you convinced it was the hand of our disciples in this blackness? Executus chimed in. I believe a fat face stammered, eyes darting with the guilt of a thief in the throes of an unraveling alibi. I can summon a more pressing line of inquiry. No, Smarty, nobody was in the mood for a stick buntloaf just now. Ezrapan's ears fell insubstantial to any line of inquiry, history-oriented or otherwise. His abstruse contour carved a pondering shape in the fog, carpeting centuries dead. His 11 contemporaries, too, embraced the muted consternation of the great predicant scholar. Few wizards kept sharper adumbratives, or read them with such lucidity. When Ezrapan treated men with silence, it was seldom unrepaid by the wise and reasonable alike. It was harrowing to entertain. Ezrapan the learned storied complacency of wizards was marked for grander descendants. Disciples handpicked, vetted by Akite the Bonafide and tested by Gastriel the Munificent. The 12 sweetest, most studious children, a pair of elderly eyes could give their sparkle, not the raggedy gutter snipe so oft harvested by the common obscenity. Gutter snipe so oft harvested by those vituperative little beggars with hearts to corrupt and drop bananas brown. That these chosen youngsters would turn was not merely unthinkable, but something of a roundhouse to the temporal bones of the upper indifferences high chamber of soft-skulled prophets. His wisdom-savage brow pruned further with the count of his many lessons to would-be successors, lessons to advance humanity's elucidation and prosperity, an outcome this bleak trail now painfully obviated. There were few puzzles the learned could not suspend and dissect in the recondite manifold beneath his extremely expensive pointy hat. Daring to pitch his cherished pupils with the foul melange of history's road. The heretofore abstract scourge that built up civilizations with ungodly magic and tore them down with joyful malice could prove an intellectual trespass to make his calcium-deficient bones quake. And more daring yet was the only question now that mattered. Could a bunch of bearded, scraggly old men in preposterous outfits hunt them down? He didn't have an answer, only a simple observation so blunt and uncharacteristically jejune for the lauded sage. It was breathtaking in its self-evidency. We're going to need more wands. Wow, think of something better.
So yeah, this was something that he actually wrote when he was younger. Probably showing off his prowess of the SAT vocab list.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm not surprised that he would have written overly purple prose. In this case, literally.
Yeah.
In his printing of it, literally.
You made a pun. How does it feel?
Feels like I accidentally murdered someone.
So yeah.
I just committed manslaughter to my own organs.
Pussy used to be worse. Which, complacency of the learned will come back at some point. There's allusions to it later on.
Okay,
but it's essentially like Star Wars Harry Potter, but in thicker language. Anyway.
Oh, the part that hurt me was that I was accidentally making a pun, not the text.
Proceed.
This wizard story seems really involved and kind of confusing. You'll have to save your place and dig into it later, and then maybe ask Rose what the hell the deal with it is.
Go get a bookmark.
Nana, if I get to that point, you have to put me down. Don't let me lose sight of who I was. I'll already be dead if I reach that point. You'll just be giving me the peace of the grave. You return to your room in search of a bookmark. Oh hey, finally a use for that pointless juice-stained beta that will never serve any purpose, past or future. You drop it on the John in case you're looking for some reading material later.
Check up on Rose. She's busy lasering away something. Dave Pester.
Well, why are you burning your wizard fanfiction?
I'm not. This book contains a genetic code.
Okay, oh, okay. Then why are you burning that?
The gods from the furthest ring asked me to.
Is that some dumb wizard thing you just made up? Or something to do with tentacle monsters? I can't keep track of what you like anymore.
How did you know I wrote a story about wizards anyway?
John told me. He was all snooping around your room while you were asleep. I was like, no man, don't. So not cool. Then he was like, haha, dude, check it out, this book is full of wizard slash. I was like, I don't even want to know what this is such a crazy violation of privacy.
This story sounds suspicious.
You want me to chew him out about it? I will, because that was so outrageous I don't actually know where he got off being like that.
No, I don't actually mind. Too bad I missed him.
I thought you liked wizards. I thought you hated wizards. What's the deal with that?
I like wizards. What I don't like is my mother's obsession with feigning interest in them to antagonize me.
Oh man, it's so messed up. That you think that she probably digs wizards for real just like you and you're blowing shit out of proportion like pretty much always. You and she could have probably been shouting up how awesome wizards were this time, but no. You're probably burning your nutjob meow book to spite her too, aren't you?
No, I told you, it's one of the gene sequences locked in my subconscious. The gods say it's critical to destroy it.
Oh yeah, I thought that was a joke. When did they say that?
When I was asleep.
You mean when we were dancing and stuff in our dreams?
Yes, when I flew to your tower, I heard them. They're far above, in the dark sky.
I've never seen or heard these things in my dreams.
Aren't you often distraction by music and puppets?
Yeah.
Have you ever looked into the sky without your shades?
No, what a ridiculous question.
Maybe you should try it sometime. You're the Prince of the Moon. I'm sure they've been meaning to seek a royal audience.
Dot 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 dot.
What do all these dots mean?
Don't know. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'll do that. Get some sky monsters to boss me around sounds cool.
Dave Spray also Pester.
So really, why are you burning that?
I just explained this to other Dave. Do I have to explain everything to you twice now?
No, I know. I'm using Dave's spare computer. I saw the whole conversation through his Pester Chum account.
Oh, I see. So instead of having to double explain, I merely have to put up with being double spied upon. What a relief.
I just mean, you didn't burn that book in the future. That book was completely pointless.
I know, but now it's not. You appeared to make it relevant by traveling to the past.
So does that mean the sleeping thing worked? You remember the future?
I remember some things.
Okay, cool. So why is the cat code so terrible now?
I don't know, but the gods were pretty emphatic about it.
Well, okay, I guess it's done, but why are you so sure they're right?
Have you ever known them to be wrong?
I guess not, but they sort of freak me out. I mean, listening to gross space mutants all day isn't my idea of an awesome time. Especially one that sing, oh god.
Is that why you always kept the music turned up?
No, I flip out to ill jams because they kick ass. Obviously.
I guess we'll chalk another riddle up in the solved column.
Yeah, case the fuck closed. Are you talking to future me?
Yes.
Okay, I'm out of the loop again. Between you taking orders from Dream Beasts and Birdwing me with, like, future secrets, I'm doing some sort of spectacular fucking jackknife off the loop and getting a wink and a nod from Barack Obama. I'm coming upstairs.
Obama.
Obama.
Oh,
Okay.
Obama.
Alright, and then we see, that's HB? No, DD. Peeking out through Dave's window. He sneaks in the room. Dave, chill with Dave's sprite. Alright, have fun talking to yourself.
So it was pretty funny how I made a copy of Rose's evil book right before she burned it, and now she doesn't know about it. I know, it's crazy. What kind of foresight this guy has. I'm telling you, coincidences like that are unreal. They don't even happen. Most of the time. The best thing about how I did that is how it'll no way ever come to bite us in the ass ever. Dude, our shit is safe! So safe. You're gonna sleep pretty sound tonight, with that big fucking payload of safety you just got dropped on us. Gonna be hugging my pillow and shit, grinning like a goddamn bear full of honey. Safer than some Flintstone vitamins in a bottle. Keep twisting Junior, all you get is flick. Asshole thinks it's candy. Doesn't even know how each just something stepped on a security rake and got a face full of fucking safety. Yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll go back down and burn that book. Alright.
He goes downstairs, see the books are gone off the toilet. That's what DD took. Dave, go back in time and stop the thief.
It looks like you already. It looks like you already tried that. Whoever took those books was a pretty cold-blooded dude. You figure you'll cool it on the time travel for a while. Don't want to see the Dave corpses start to pile up, especially if one of them winds up being you.
Yeah, he just pulled a Steven in the Stevens. Watching myself die. Dave, threw yourself out the window.
No, he just found his dead body, which is very different.
Yeah.
Well, I guess dead future Dave pulled the Dave that tried the time travel.
Yeah.
Did pull a Steven in the Stevens by using time travel to undo his own existence.
Yeah.
You ditch the body before Jade sees it. That would probably freak her out.
Don't press a button on the control panel.
You push one of the nearby buttons. It activates the upper right monitor. The view is locked onto a particular location on Earth at a particular time, date, and time. Whoever was in the lab appears to have recently calibrated this device.
Examine monitor.
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
The monitor displays a town on the west coast of the United States. It appears to be your old neighborhood. But there's a factory there you do not recognize. The date is December 1st, 1995, a few months before you were born.
This shit gets important. I'm so excited. Alright.
Oh, it's Betty Crocker!
Yep. John, zoom in.
An old woman is escorted by her son on a lovely day. A target has been locked over the gentleman's mother.
Then...
A meteor overhead looms unnoticed.
This leads me to believe that Dad worked for the Betty Crocker factory.
It would explain his obsession with making their product.
Yeah. Then... we get a sound effect.
Vlad...
Crocker.
They witness the destruction of the factory. Collateral damage to a corporation owned by a renowned billionaire explorer. Mystery begins. Oh, it was owned by Jade's... Betty Crocker was owned by Jade's grandpa.
Yep. Good remembering. Press blue button. He does.
You create a paradox ghost imprint of the woman you recognize to be your grandmother. The ghost sludge is sucked into a glass tube.
On switch 4.
You switch to a monitor displaying a view of a remote island in the Pacific on December 3rd, 1995.
Zoom in. The boat is named Jade.
A renowned billionaire explorer approaches on his yacht. An old factory lost 2 days prior, but a new shipmate gained. Together, they settle the island and plunder its secrets.
Okay, next page.
A meteor overhead streaks unnoticed, headed towards an unseasonably warm city in the central United States.
Press blue button.
You create a paradox ghost imprint of the man you spotted in the woods with your book. The ghost sludge is collected.
Switch 3.
You switch to a view of an unseasonably warm city in the central United States on December 4th, 1995.
Go on, zoom in.
An outrageously awesome dude stands before a crater where his favorite record shop stood one day prior.
And then...
He is prepared for the occasion with a small pair of outrageously awesome shades. A meteor overhead races unnoticed, headed to a lake near a laboratory on the coast of the United States. No aquatic life would survive.
Press blue button.
You create a Paradox Ghost imprint of the outrageously awesome dude. The sludge is allocated to one of another pair of tubes.
Switch 2.
You switch again to a view of your neighborhood on April 13th, 1996. It is the day of your birth. There's more real estate you do not recognize near the recently devastated baked goods facility. It is a shopping mall you have never seen before.
Zoom in. A store called Prankster's Gambit.
A professional lady and new mother has traveled from the opposite coast at the behest of a famous and wealthy scientist to study one of numerous celestial anomalies while he's on expedition. She notices a meteor overhead on collision course in the quaint family joke shop. A distinguished gentleman notices the lady and comes outside to greet her, oblivious to the threat above. The gentleman's mother remains inside, busying herself with a tall bookshelf, a ladder, and a rather hefty, unabridged joke book.
Sound effect.
Massacre!
An old mother lost today, but a new son gained.
You gonna sniff?
Sniff.
The gentleman discovers a clue. A powerful nose detects perfume. The lady has fled. The mystery deepens. But the monitor has not lost track of the lady.
Press blue button.
You create a Paradox Ghost imprint of the professional lady. The sludge fills the final tube. Once all the tubes are filled, an automated sequence begins to execute.
Next.
4 young Paradox clones are created.
John, there's one more button to push.
Ectobiology sure does involve a lot of button pushing. At least it does when you're a junior ectobiologist. Your loyal assistant, Dr. Meowgon, is all over this one.
And pushes the button.
One pair of tubes empties the sludge into the chamber below. The other pair does as well. Another sequence is activated.
Beep beep. More babies. Got you thinking about something?
Yes!
John, scale the Escher ladder.
Baby, and the baby is you.
Have a baby and the baby is you, got ovaries up the wazoo.
Yep, it has origins. There's a reason why it exists.
I mean, that's pretty impressive. You storm up your Escher ladder to claim the coveted, if difficult to pronounce, rung. Ectobiblio babysitter. Your ladder is absolutely hemorrhaging the boon dollars, just what your pork hollow's fat ass needs.
Ectobiolo babysitter.
No, ectobiolo babysitter. Ectobiolo babysitter!
Then,
You surpass 1 million boon dollars. Single whopping boon buck. This is, of course, going directly into the college fund for these youngsters. Sure is heavy. Into the hollow it goes.
we see the pig. Kaboosh! Poor piggy.
Navigating the Vale nearby.
Yep.
An old man has much to do before he returns to Earth, dies, gets stuffed by his adopted yet biological daughter/granddaughter, and stuck in front of a fireplace.
You read the second sentence?
Oh, yes. I was processing the adopted yet biological daughter/granddaughter,
Yeah.
which,
It's like Fry being his own grandpa.
yes.
Sort of.
Avoiding the grandfather paradox by causing time loop.
Yeah.
Futurama has metaphysics of where free will does not exist. Taking priority at the moment is shipping 2 passengers long overdue for a reunion.
Yeah, it's like grandpa and grandma, but only because of age difference, because they were taken so far back. But anyway, there's the ship going through space. We see on the ship Mom and Dad. He pulls out a scarf from his wallet after so long. Returns it to her. She looks at him longingly. They have an embrace. Hold hands as they float through the ziposphere. CG Troll John. Oh boy, more talking to me.
See, this is a case in point. What point? The point is I was just making about the ultimate riddle. You blithering feculent shithole. Okay, that's your cue to laugh at me for some more, I guess. Because you seem to really get off whenever I flame you. Humans are deranged. Oh man, I must be getting closer to the conversations where you're trolling me harder. This is pretty exciting. I can't wait to see what you've got up your sleeve. What do you mean? You see what I mean? Fuck you about that. Anyway, you weren't making a point about the ultimate riddle, dude. Yes, I was, and now I'm losing my train of thought, dipshit. Nope, we never talked about it yet. Oh, hell, that's right. Damn it, I guess this is gonna be confusing. Oh, you're just trying to figure that out now? See, I kind of painted myself into a corner. I started trolling you at the end, just before the rift, and then jumped back a little, and now I guess I've become a railroad into a working back... become railroad into working backwards here. Unless I want to do this sort of dumb schizophrenic hopping around like the others. Oh my god, I know you've already told me like 1,000,000 times. I have? Well, I can't wait for all these amazing conversations to take place. It's gonna be like that human vacation with the giant red chimney asshole up in here. You know, the one where a bunch of moany nook suckers sing at a little pine tree, I think. Man, I've gotta say, I'm a little disappointed by this masterful trolling you were bragging about. I was bragging? Why would I bother with that sort of pedantic human horseshit? Maybe you should consider that I was bragging to get your hopes up in the future, only to let you down, and thus troll you masterfully in that respect. Maybe, but that would be pretty weak too. Your brittle human calcium-based skull is what is weak, and if you and I were in the proximity of a blunt instrument, I wouldn't have much trouble proving it. Whatever. So what was the case in point you were making anyway? I was scrolling back and I noticed you were in the Vale. Whoa, I am? Yeah, dum-dum, you're tumbling around on a big goddamn meteor, and you just create younger versions of yourselves and your guardians, probably by mucking around with that thing like a doofus. Wait, these are baby versions of us? So clueless. What did you think you were doing in here anyway? Well, I saw footage of my Nana, and some other people who I'm pretty sure were like Jade's grandpa and Rose's mom and stuff from a long time ago, and then there were all these little guys scurrying around, so they were all like cloned up copies of us? No, they're literally you and your guardians, paradox clones. Huh? What do you mean they're literally us? Do they go back in time? Yeah, obviously, great guess, brain hero. But technically, they aren't even sent back in time, because with respect to the medium, your universe's timeline is meaningless. Seriously, why would it give a crap? Why would I give a crap about the Earth's past or future, or whatever? From its perspective, it's just a bunch of points to choose from. Just like your chronology is from our perspective. But I guess that's a bunch of semantics with respect to your personal chronology. Yeah, they go back in time. A paradox clone is by definition a correctly cloned duplicate that will inevitably go back in time and become the original target that was cloned. If it's a malformed clone, it's just a meaningless mutant that has no bearing on the stable loop continuum. I don't see any tentacles or extra eyeballs or more bone bulges, so those gross little things are all you guys, waiting to go to Earth and grow up and become the inspired bunch of grub-fisted douchebags you all are now. This was the point I was trying to make about the ultimate riddle. What was the riddle anyway? Maybe I can guess. I'm good at riddles. Haha, think again, ignoramus. It's not even that great, or even much of a riddle at all. In the course of your adventure, you would have encountered all these fragments of, like, weird poems and shit. You find them all along your quest with clues and stuff buried in them to help you solve puzzles and move huge stone columns and make staircases appear, and lots of nonsense like that. It's all masked in this flowery sort of frothy poetic jackassery that nobody really cares about, and I sure as hell don't care about spoiling it for you. But what all these lofty symbolic allusions boil down to is some grander statement about what you see happening here, that you were always the key to seeding your own existence through this game. And any hope that it could have played out differently or that you could have avoided this whole mess always is just a ruse. A distraction, perhaps? What? Never mind. Because if it did go down this way, then how were you even born? Get it? Which is especially pathetic since Paradox Space apparently went all this trouble to make you just have you fail and die. Really, there's nothing more tragic than these null sessions full of kids entering the game and fulfilling some cosmic destiny shit just to get wiped out and leave behind an empty, pointless insiposphere for all eternity. Actually, it's sort of hilarious. Or it would be if it didn't affect me personally. But anyway, there's a lot more to the riddle than that. Like, what were we just talking about last time we talked? But that's sort of the gist of the themes it deals with. Okay, well, if I run into some salamanders who tell me all about this riddle and get really excited about it, I will try to act surprised. So this is the same kind of thing you went through? With, like, being your own Paradox clones and creating your own parents and stuff? Yeah. How did that even work with 12 of you? It was really fucking complicated, and I'm not going to get into it. Our family structures are already way more complicated than yours without even getting spooky time slime involved. Basically, we have nothing in common whatsoever, except maybe this. I was the guy in your position to make all these clones, and frankly, it all kind of freaked me the hell out. Huh, yeah. I guess now that you mention it, I am finding it all a little strange. Oh, only just now? Fuck, you are fast, and I hope you got the mad boombucks to pay off those speeding tickets. No, I mean, the ghost stuff, the paradoxes are one thing. It's something else, it's really weird. What's so weird about it? Well, normally humans hatch from, like, these slimy pods. Then we wriggle out as pink little larvae. Oh, really? Maybe we have more in common than I thought. Maybe those are really mutant clones and they aren't going back to seed your planet? I'm sure. Hell, I'm confused now. Not that I give a shit about you and your pointless, awful lives. Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you get back to me in a few minutes? I mean, like a few minutes of my time, not yours. All of these little pink monkeys are getting way out of line, and I have to tend to them. If you message me in a couple minutes, we can continue conversing in a sane, linear fashion for a change. Okay. And then, after that, you can keep going backwards, and then make fun of me for riding my little red rocket. You can tell me I look like a silly little Paradox clone fresh out of my slime tube, and this was all just a big nursery time recess jamboree. That would burn me so good. Okay, that is pretty good, but I can't use it because you said it, and then later, i.e. right now, you would get the satisfaction of knowing you were the one to come up with that burn. See, you're dealing with a pro. You can't out-troll me just so I forget about it and stop trying. Alright, John, tend to your little pink monkeys.
They're scrambling all over the place. They appear to be preoccupied by some of the objects littered around the lab. At least it is keeping them busy.
Right, we see baby bro sleeping on Cal, and John on Sassacre. Baby grandpa playing with guns. Baby Dave on Maplehoof. And John's getting trolled by CG again.
Okay, it's a few minutes later. Look how sane and linear we're being. Yeah! Okay, awesome. Now fuck you and goodbye. Wait! What? I was just looking at all these rascals and I was wondering, how did they go back in time and become us and stuff? Does it have something to do with the reckoning? How do you know about that? You told me. We had this great dare going to see who could be the least helpful and informative, and you totally lost, dude. You were hella helpful. I was obviously just spiting your stupid, pointless human dare. What is a dare anyway? It's nothing. Someone says do something and then... Oh, laugh, laugh. You lose if you don't do it. That isn't anything that deserves a word. We don't even have a word for dare in our language. The closest approximation would be worthless fucking bullshit waste of time for silly little children. Oh, wow. Is that the title of a movie, too? Yes, it's the title of every dumb movie you ever liked. That isn't even true. It doesn't make sense. Anyway, how could we have made a dare if I'm moving backwards on your timeline? You would dare me to do something, then would you do it next time? But then you wouldn't even remember the dare, because we didn't make it yet. And that's what isn't true and doesn't make sense, you damp bag of puke. Well, yeah, the dare never happened. I was joking around and made that up to give you a hard time. You have sounding stupid down to such a science. Where's your lab coat and test tubes, Dr. Brain Professor? I am wearing a lab coat. Sort of. You look like an elf. That's bullshit. You look like you should be blowing into a funky little shell and limbering up for a silly cookie dance. Do you even have elves? Yes, let's compare which fantasy creatures that don't exist we both do or don't not have. What a great fucking idea, John. What? You asked about the reckoning, so why don't we talk about that instead of all these pretty much terrible things? Okay. Yeah, so when the reckoning starts happening, all these Paradox clones get shipped off to meteors, flung through the sky in defense portals, and sent back to Earth. End of story, I guess. Bye. Wait! So that means we're all sort of like Superman? Yeah, I guess. Whoa. You are all trace the mythological footsteps of your beloved human Superman, who's really just a muscular Caucasian alien. It's hilarious how humans worship him as a pinnacle of human heroism and virtue, but he isn't even human. Actually, it's incredibly pathetic, but also in a way kind of admirable, because it means deep down you all must realize who your daddy is. We are bitches! Yeah, Superman's pretty cool, I guess. Did you know Nicolas Cage was almost going to play Superman one time? Oh, my throbbing phlegm lobe, who gives a barfing fuck about that? John Ebert, you have assassinated my patience. Adios, loser. Wait, get back to me in a couple minutes, okay? Fine.
So, Karkat has the same view on Superman that... Karkat has the same view on Superman that Bill from Kill Bill does.
Yeah.
Yes, I do see why you joke about that.
Yep, and here you get another delightful reaction image.
You are ripping up so many hellacious threads as fierce shitty biz nasty is getting so deliriously rude brazen it. Okay, you lost the handle on that sentence. Oh my god, is that what you think it is?
Frog ruins.
This thing is so completely illegal. How could this atrocity be floating out here unnoticed all this time? You're going to throw whoever is responsible into the slammer. You always called jail the slammer when you were extra angry at crimes.
AR, go in.
There is a large elevator platform ahead.
AR, go down.
Below is a dark cavernous ring. Below there is a dark cavernous ring. Near the platform is a time capsule. It is deployed as seed and waits for something to be deposited and for the clock to be set. It is all harmless enough. Still no sign of any perpetrators.
Search premises.
Deeper into the darkness of the room, there is some complicated lab equipment. Again, nothing particularly unusual for this jurisdiction.
Examine equipment. Here we see baby grandma. Or baby Nana, excuse me.
Yep. There's a large monitor. Displayed on it is a small human girl in a fancy house. The date is April 21st, 1910.
Okay. It's Mark Twain.
8 days prior, the orphan girl was taken in by an aristocratic Southern colonel and legendary humorist. He recovered the young lady from a crater where a bakery once stood, operated by the man's wife, a notable baked goods baroness.
Who do you think that Southern colonel and legendary humorist
That's
is?
Colonel Sassacre.
Yep.
And the wife is Betty Crocker.
Mm-hmm. Then
There's an explosion in the colonel's backyard. Land sakes alive! We are cooking with petrol now!
there he stands looking at the crater.
The colonel and his new granddaughter investigate. Impact site where a doghouse stood moments ago. It was the magnificent abode of the man's beloved pet, Haley. He takes a belt from the old julep flask. He'd sooner perish himself than lose that dear animal. People would think reports of the man's death were greatly exaggerated, but they weren't. This is exactly why babies should not be allowed to dual-wield flintlock pistols.
That's a good out-of-context picture.
Yeah.
Right?
An old colonel lost, but a new brother gained.
So by that implication, Nana and Grandpa are brother and sister. Sort of, yes. So that makes John and Jade related in a way.
I like also that apparently, in at least 2 for 2 so far, the time displaced babies, to coin a term, to steal a phrase I use for Fire Emblem child characters, tadpoles. Anyways, that the tadpoles have to kill someone when they arrive.
Yep. Okay.
There's Haley! The youngsters adore their new guardian. Good dog, best friend. The young boy has difficulty pronouncing the name, though. Sounds more like Harley when he says it.
Look familiar, right? That dog?
Yes, it's Space Coyote.
Yeah, Beckwell. And also, Allie is Harley? Whose name is Harley? Jade.
It's probably who they took the last name. Yeah, it's probably how they took the last family name from. So.
Yeah. AR fast forward.
13 years later, the boy develops a taste for adventure. He and his guardian bid farewell. His sister is sad. She will be left all alone with a wicked pastry baroness. She can handle it, he tells her. He believes in her.
Aww.
This all seems pointless to you and immaterial to the crime that has been committed. Although you do find it odd that the purifier target has been fixed over that especially stupid-looking animal. You hear the elevator platform. Someone is coming.
Yeah, we see,
Actually, Homestuck pulled double Simpsons since we also had a baby. We also had an old man be shot by a baby.
Yep. So now we're gonna see how Jade got Dave's copy in at the start of the act, where DD comes in.
It is a high-ranking agent from your kingdom. Could he be the man behind this crime? Could his intent be mutinous? You know the agent to be far too dangerous to take into custody. You hide behind some equipment and observe. He appears to be holding some notebooks. Also, what appears to be a pair of juice-stained envelopes. We got a sound effect here.
Discard.
Only one of the books is useful to him. The envelopes are useless, and he couldn't make it through more than a paragraph of the other book. Some weird thing about wizards. He discards them. The spare notebook lands on the floor. The envelopes land in the seed! The time capsule stores the seed, and on account of some default setting, is programmed to bloom several 100 million years from now. The capsule then readies a new seed.
Okay.
The agent approaches another device near the large monitor.
John controlled by CG in sane and linear manner.
Okay, I got back to you. Are you happy? Sure, I guess. You don't even know it yet, but you're about to start passing out bunnies like they're cheap cigars. It's going to be an embarrassing display. What are you talking about? Yeah, exactly, numbskull. Let's just have our chat. Then it can naturally occur to you to be an idiot in the due course of time. Okay, I was sort of mulling it over while looking at all these babies with guns and sitting on ponies and things. And how the reckoning takes them back, and how you said a reckoning starts sooner. Yeah. Are you sure it has to start so soon? Can't we delay it? It starts in a few minutes, stupid. See that countdown clock over there? You aren't delaying anything. Oh, dang, I guess I better get off this meteor then. Well, I mean, it doesn't happen all at once. First some smaller meteors go, then bigger ones. Spread it out over like 24 hours or so. It's supposed to be like go time when it starts. Like it's time to hurry up and stop fucking around and kill the boss. Get it? The rock you're on doesn't blast off right away. Too bad, because it would have spared you from making a fool of yourself in a couple minutes, and more importantly, spared me from having to watch. Okay, well, you keep saying how doomed we are and how all this bad stuff happens sooner, but you never say why. What happens in our game that's so different from yours that makes things go badly? Jack Noir. Who's Jack Noir? An agent of Durst. who flipped out and rose to power. He killed your Black Queen and King, and now he's in charge. So you didn't have him in your game? No, we did, but he was harmless. Actually, he was an ally, sort of. He settled a grudge against the Queen by helping us to throw in and exile her. And then he wound up exiled himself and sort of kept helping us through the command terminal on our old planet. He's kind of a huge asshole, though, but because he took the Queen out of the picture, when we got to Skya, we only had one monarch to deal with instead of two. Of course, it was a nasty giant 12 times prototype, Black King, that took forever to kill, just barely in time before the biggest meteors came, but still. I see. So after he got exiled and all that, he came here into our game and caused all this trouble? No, God, Egbert, you're thicker than a hideous joke book you waddle around with. Try to think more extrapolate. Think about video games. What's an Earth game you like to play? Name one. Crash Bandicoot? Okay, I don't know what that is, but I have a feeling it's really a lame example. But that's fine. It's not the point. So let's say you play your Bandicoot, and I play my Bandicoot. They're essentially the same Bandicoot, same appearance, same design and behaviors, but they are still completely separate Bandicoots on separate screens. So we both have our own ass Bandicoots to ourselves, the same but different. Our Jacks are the same but different too. Same guy, different circumstances and outcomes. Your Jack trumped our Queen, but got no further. Your Jack got the best of both of them, and now something higher than a Queen or a King. Like an ace? Oh, he's playing Boletro. Sure, okay. Okay, I think I get it, but how did he do that? What was different about what he did versus what you did? Frankly, I have no idea what the original thing that tipped the scales was. It's under investigation, but it doesn't really matter. The worst is yet to come for you. Oh no. What is the worst thing? I already told you. Damn it. Oh, hey. Sorry, hold on, this little lady is bugging me about something. Yeah, you might as well get it over with and give her the lousy rabbit already. Oh man, I just had the best idea. This is so perfect. A blonde mother and daughter together. This is totally perfect. Perfect for what? Flexing your formidable mental handicap like a fucking heavyweight for the next several minutes? Oh wait, let me check. The answer is yes. It is like that scene in Con Air. I will give her the bunny like I am Nick Cage fresh out of the slammer. Fuck. I wish I had a filthy wife beater on. Oh well.
Alright. Ready for the best page in the whole fucking comic? John, reunite with your loving wife and daughter.
Okay. So...
What kind of life would that be? Oh, and I need you in my arms, need you to hold. You're my world, my heart, my soul. If you ever leave, baby, that would take away everything good in my life. Without you, there'd be no sun in my sky. Love in my life, there'd be no world left for me. Oh, and baby, I don't know what I would do. I'd be lost if I lost you. If you ever leave, baby, that would take away everything.
Yeah, right.
Next Smalley on guitar, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Play that shit. I hear you. I hear you in here. In my heart. So good on my eardrums. Yeah. You got that Telecaster twang. Twanging into my soul.
Oh yeah. We have about 50 pages left, so I think this would be a good time to take a little stretch break.
Yes, I need some water.
Alright. Enjoy your stretch break. I need water too.
Later.
Alright, I'm back. Hello.
Hello.
Me and Nana have already decided when we do karaoke at Renata's house, we're gonna do this song.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that she records it too, so that it's cemented in history. Sorry that this is another one where you don't talk as much.
It's fine.
But the next one is Act 5 with the trolls.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get those sprites fully shaded.
I'm so excited.
Okay, I'm back. I don't know what you're excited for, but perhaps I will see.
Yep.
I got some oiter to dink.
Yep, dink your oiter. Alright. End of Act 4.
Okay.
The curtain closes. On John crying over his babies. Psych!
It'll be a few more pages.
Here we see Dave with blood on his hands. Dave controlled by GC.
Dave, what's it smell like?
What?
Your blood.
Fuck off.
Dave, give it a little taste for me. Tell me what human blood tastes like. I've been so curious.
You're the annoying blind one, aren't you?
Yeah.
Dave told me about you.
God, too many Daves. It's like this big asshole and cool guy party, but someone forgot to invite all the cool guys. Wink.
Man, I'm telling you, burns like that are unreal. Where do you even get a burn that's sick?
I bet you can't wait to be a useless piece of shit all day and fall down all these burns.
No, you messed that up.
Dave, is this you?
Let's see what it is. My first Sony. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's...
Did you try to draw shades on his face and miss? What's even the point? He's already wearing shades.
It's so perfect, that is so you.
This is moronic.
Dave, tell me what your blood smells like, or I'll make another one. And I know these hurt your feelings.
I don't know what it smells like or tastes like, but I sure as hell know what it looks like a fucking symphony on my retinas. Shit is beautiful like a little vermilion picnic on my hands. Every day I open my eyes, I find simplest things. It's one of those little joys in life you take for granted. This miraculous gift of vision.
Dave, check it out. I figured it out. This has got to be you.
How can Strap not find this funny?
Yeah.
No, the humor in this comic is actually very good. It's
Yeah.
very dry, very absurd. The story is what is a mess.
Yeah.
I could give myself a hernia trying to be as big a douche as that guy. I could try, but it would wind up like a motorcycle stunt gone horribly wrong. My broken body would flop and tumble around like a rag doll.
Oh god, I can't breathe.
And yet as much as that guy's the tooliest dude I could ever hope to meet, he and I would still get along famously. Because we can both see. Just him and me, having a sea party. Like a couple eagle-eyed bros peeping shit up into the wee hours.
Dave, can I come to your sea party?
I guess, but you'll be careful not to stumble around bumping into all the gorgeous masterpieces hanging around everywhere. God, so beautiful to look at with my perfect eyesight.
Can I lick the paintings?
Yeah, that's fine.
Jade get trolled by AT. Ooh, yay.
Jade, hi. Is your robot nearby? Where you can type because you're asleep.
Oh, yes, it appears so.
Okay, in that case, are you having a pleasant nap?
I guess. I've been pretty busy here. I've had to stay asleep for a long time because John is supposed to wake up soon. But he just won't wake up. I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to be the one to wake him, but I don't know what to do. Huh?
Oh, sorry. I was looking to see if I could see him awake in the future, but I can't see in his dreams or anything.
Oh. Well, thanks for trying anyways.
But you'll wake up soon, it looks like. So maybe this means you have success.
I hope so. What am I doing when I wake up?
Oh goodness, there's so much going on and there's a lot of trouble that you're in.
Oh no!
But what it comes down to is that you don't have much time anyway. This is your last day before you make the rift. And then I can't see what happens after that anymore, which is okay with me, because to be honest, seeing your whole big confusing future and past is kind of overwhelming.
Yes, I know what you mean.
It's so complicated and I don't even know what I should be accomplishing. I think using these gadgets and things and my timeline advantages to play pranks on you.
Sounds like it would be fun, but you guys never even played pranks on me. You were just always kind of mean.
Sorry. I think the idiotic thing about trolling is if you just use it to troll people, I think you're just as likely to get trolled yourself, maybe even more badly, which I think is what is going on here, just between you and me.
Well, I know I haven't trolled you guys. Or not yet.
No, but you sort of are. My friend's going crazy. He wants to talk to you. He left you a message a long time ago, your timeline, to talk to him when your robot blows up.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Does it really blow up, or was that another trick?
I don't know. I can't see if it blew up in your future. Not on screen, I mean. There are lots of explosions all the time anyway. Too many explosions.
You could ask me in the future.
Okay, I'll ask. Okay, you said yes, it did blow up, and talk to him. And then you said he actually a pretty nice guy, which I thought was weird.
He not a nice guy?
Not really.
Well, maybe he's just been through some tough times. Maybe we should give him the benefit of the doubt. For whatever it's worth, I think you're a pretty nice guy, too.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, you seem to be the only one who ever thinks to talk to me while I'm asleep. Why is that?
Oh, I guess that it makes sense because you have a robot to let you say things that happen on Prospect. I'm curious because the only time I ever had fun playing this game was when I was asleep. But now all our dream selves are dead.
Oh, dream selves can die?
Yeah.
I never knew that, or even thought about it. I guess it makes sense, though.
Yeah. So enjoy your nap while it lasts. Bye. There he is, imagining his little dream self. I love Hornus. Right, Rose, get trolled by GA. Fun talking to yourself.
Hello again. Are we friends yet at this point in time? I would speculate that if we are not by now, then it would probably not to be. Pardon? Furthermore, which Rose have you chosen to be this time? Stupid Rose or the smart Rose? I'm a little busy. It sounds like you were attempting to be the smart Rose this time. Please take note of the subtle scorn underlying the selection of the word attempting. Smart Rose should get a kick out of that. Smart Rose is all about subtle scorn, isn't she? That sounds about right. Whereas Dumb Rose doesn't capitalize letters even when discussing the proper names of human monsters in Earth cinema. I think you should establish a greater commitment to a single role-playing scenario. Honestly, I was looking forward to playing along and reading your Dumb Rose script for our next conversation. But it turned out there's a perfectly logical explanation for it all. Imagine my disappointment. Well, I imagine yours once you finally catch on. I suddenly don't understand what you were under anything. What are you talking about? I'd love to explain in detail and cause some sort of time paradox. But you see, and this revelation may be as startling as any, I'm a little busy. I believe I understand. It was I who did something to provoke your scorn in a previous conversation, one which I have not yet had. Yes, this is definitely a conclusion you have just drawn. The only thing left to do is ride out the next several conversations while you maintain that understanding. And while I maintain the chilly facade that you have grown to enjoy from Smart Rose. Which shouldn't be too difficult because, having mentioned, I'm busy. Goodbye. Fine.
Dave, keep getting trolled by GC.
Dave, I finally got it.
Oh, hell.
I finally figured it out once and for all. This is you.
That's pretty amazing.
Oh, goddess. It is so perfect. Just a cool dude and his bro right there, adventuring through time and playing pinball in bro heaven together. Tell me that this isn't so fucking perfect.
Hey, speaking of which, where is my bro anyway? Haven't seen him all since I got here. Dave Sprite doesn't know. You can see everything that goes on, right? Or like smell it or whatever. How does it even work? How do you use a computer and know what's going on? It doesn't make sense. My face doesn't make sense.
Dave, your face doesn't... Damn it.
Haha.
But actually, your face does make sense to my nose and my tongue.
You.
I'm sorry, Dave, that you will never experience the sensory bouquet that I enjoy every day. That I ensconce myself in like a warm and comfy bathrobe made of flavor and melody.
Okay, so the dumbest and most far-fetched explanation imaginable. Okay, got it.
Anyways, I don't know where your bro is. As far as I can tell, you never see him again, between now and the rift. Too bad he won't be around to bail you out again like he did when you entered.
Man, don't remind me about that. So embarrassing.
It's okay, I won't tell John about it. I know that's what you're worried about.
Okay, cool.
But look, you don't need to be upset about not having your bro to lean on anymore.
Who's upset? About time the dude gave me a little space.
Well, okay, whatever you say, but that's not the point. The point is I will help you instead, Dave. Is that cool?
I guess.
I know everything that's going to happen to you. I can tell you before it happens so you can be ready. And not have to go back in time and get killed all the time. And stand on a toilet looking at your own blood for 10 minutes.
Alright, so what's next?
First, you go through the gate. And when you go through the gate, you'll go to another place in your wild cherry lava land. You will very quickly meet some friendly crocodiles. They will try to eat you, but it's just their way of being friendly. You shouldn't be scared.
Why would I be scared?
Dave, please, you are crying like a little boy. It is happening right here in front of my nose. Your tears taste delicious. Kind of like something you wouldn't know about, a troll delicacy called cotton candy.
We have cotton candy, dump ass.
Ah!
Alright, and then we get Descend. Toby time.
Fox! It's Tobin again!
I love Toby.
Yeah, he does love his leitmotifs.
What's wrong, babe? Your leitmotif is in a minor key. She took the leitmotif in the divorce. Happy. I love Jade so much.
Sing a squirrely song.
But yeah, got a lot of really cool shit there. Like the black side and the white side fighting together against Jack Noir and shenanigans in space where Jack severs the chain of Prospit and thus making Dream Jade chase to go save Dream John, and Jade's robot exploding, so now Jade's falling out of her house, and the babies are now being sent on their meteors, and
Yep.
Toby and Fox.
Yep.
Right.
Toby Fox banging out the tunes.
Yep. Alright, that is sort of the end of our reading, because we also... It's a short epilogue that's... It's the following. This says that the following events are not part of an official act of Homestuck, but constitute as a short epilogue to the events of Act 4.
Okay.
So we'll read the next, I think it's 40 pages or so. So it shouldn't take
sounds
much
good.
longer, yeah. Get a little game facts from Rose.
This is my final entry. My co-players and I have made every earnest attempt with occasional relapse to play this game the right way. I've been meticulous in documenting the process to help our peers and successors through the trial should we fail. In my hubris, I believe these classes were relegated to the Earthbound, but in even this quaint supposition, I was in error. Our otherworldly antagonists have assured us of our inevitable failure repeatedly. While the gods whisper corroboration in my sleep, I believe them now. I just blew up my first gate. I'm not sure why I did it really. I'm not playing by the rules anymore. I will fly around this candy-coated rock and comb the white sand until I find answers. No one can tell me our fate can't be repaired. We've come too far. I jumped out of the way of a burning fucking tree, for God's sake. I've used a spell to rip this walkthrough from Earth's decaying network and sealed it in one of the servers floating in the furthest ring. The gods, they disperse the signal throughout the cosmos as they wish. Perhaps it will be of use to pastorfucial species who, like us, have been ensnared by sky as malevolent tendrils. In case it wasn't clear, magic is real. Pardon my egress. You're on your own now.
It's in the future.
The war-weary calls another broken planet home, another cloth as garb. Land and rags fit for the wayward. A villain becomes a vagabond.
The recent past is recalled.
An accursed mascot is located among fallen brethren, its visage reviled.
Rips it in half. John's bed sheets fall down.
A rag of souls drifts from the heaven, its owner a mystery.
Then we see Dream John awake. Being Dream Jade not so awake.
A boy finds a dead friend, her ring recovered.
Looks up.
The boy sees himself in a cloud, his destination revealed.
Hours in the future.
A mistress becomes a mendicant.
The recent past is recalled.
The communication device is borrowed, a rendezvous arranged. The Slayer is summoned, the collateral presented. The droll is beckoned, the bargain honored. The boy finds the castle, his courier's path crossed.
Sound effect.
Oof.
The mail is delivered, an obligation satisfied.
She looks so badass there.
No, yeah. The package is opened, letters read.
John. Alright, this one's a character you don't know yet. John, from what I hear tell, you've been through a bit of an adventure by the time you're reading this. That's so great. I love adventure, and I would bet my bottom boonbuck you do too. I think we are birds of a feather, John. I am pretty eager to meet you. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned, we're going to meet someday. I hear you like a movie. Oh wait, should Orville be this voice? Lore-wise? Yes. Okay. Yeah. Do like your Sassacre, but he's a younger guy.
John, from what I hear tell, you've been through a bit of adventure by the time you're reading this. That's so great. I love adventure, and I would bet my bottom boonbuck you do too. I think we are birds of a feather, John. I'm pretty eager to meet you. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned we are going to meet someday. I hear you like movies, is that right, John? I love movies too. Have you ever seen Weekend at Bernie's? So friggin' hilarious. It's hard to talk to Jade about movies because she doesn't really know about movies, but I'm sure you know that. Boring. Just kidding, Jade. You know I love you and I think you're... Okay, speaking of Jade, we spent quite a long time working on this present for you. It was a big team effort. Okay, I had to do quite a lot of arm twisting to get her to go along with helping me make such an oddball present for you, and so well in advance. But I had my arm sort of twisted myself to get this going in the first place. Then she came around to the idea because she can see the future. Pretty amazing if you ask me. It'll all be clear later. Gadzooks, with all this arm twisting, I've been getting a good workout. We should wrestle when we meet, John. I love to wrestle, but I don't get a chance to wrestle with anyone that much. Do you like to get into fisticuffs, John? Scrums and whatnot? Me too. Anyway, you should listen to Jade from here on out, John, because she seems to know what's best for you. Whatever your adventure throws at you, I'm sure she'll tell you can handle it. She believes in you. There's another page to this letter. There's another letter from a different author. I mean, that voice is just my attorney-at-law voice. I just once saw a sign that said, like, something and something attorney-at-law. It was like, something and something, attorney-at-law. And it just stuck.
Make sure you read the picture.
Okay. Okay. Do I read this text, or...
The text of the picture above the words, there is another letter from a different author.
Okay.
It's the same author. The
kicking Christ
thing?
Yeah. Oh, kicking Christ in a dirty diaper. I almost forgot to mention what's in this box. Sorry this shit's so small. I mean, obviously it's small. Contents? Royal Derringer? Quills of Echidna?
Something
I
we
can't read what the last one says.
Something crosshairs. Anyway.
Something crosshairs.
Yeah. Dear John.
There's no...
It's fun time.
John. Happy birthday! Even though it's super late and you probably went through a lot of trouble to get it, I really hope this present cheers you up. You looked so sad while you were reading my letter. Which is to say the one you are reading now. I can explain. You see, when I go to sleep in my dreams, I wake up on the moon of a planet called Prospect. By now you must know about this place. I have lived there in my dreams most of my life, and I've made so many friends there over the years. And you were there too, but you were asleep. The fact that you are awake now, I think, means all my friends are in trouble. You are awake because it is your job to help them. We will both help them. But, I know these things because while I was on the moon, whenever it passed through Skya, I could see lots of things in the clouds. The past, the future, stuff about our friends, and stuff about you. Now that you're awake and apparently at the center of Skya, wow, you should be able to see the stuff in the clouds too. Maybe you already have. About this present, my pen pal helped me work on it. He included a letter too. He's really funny and silly. I like him a lot, and I think you would too. It took a long time between the two of us, and sure, the present looks like a fun and completely ridiculous thing to get, but it's also really important. You are getting it exactly when you need it most. Maybe that's hard to believe, but it's true. I saw it happen already. I don't see everything, John, and I definitely don't know everything that's going to happen. But when I do know something, I always try to do my best to help people in the future. I'm supposed to, that is. You'll get the hang of it.
John, I'm really looking forward to seeing you when you wake up. It's been nice playing with my Prospectian friends and all, but also kind of lonely knowing you were in the other tower sleeping and having lousy dreams. I'm not sure where I am when you are reading this, but I'm sure I'll make it down to where you are soon. Geez, how did you get down there? Oh well, I'll find out. I can't wait to fly around the moon with you and show you all my favorite places. It'll be so much fun. Heart, Jade.
Aww. And there's John shedding a little tear. Or Dream John, that is. Then, he is at sword point. Jack.
A boy's grief is interrupted. His ring sought.
That's what's in the box. It's a rabbit holding some weapons.
He put the bunny in the box!
The bunny's now out of the box.
The toy has taken a new master. The tactician, a misstep.
Remember the weapons that this rabbit is holding.
Well, he's got a hammer, a sword, 2 big needles, and another sword, it looks like.
One's Ahab's crosshairs is the gun in the back.
Oh, okay. That's
the needles,
okay.
The half sword. That hammer is also very important.
Yeah.
Remember the clown-looking hammer.
Yeah. Okay, remember Clown Hammer, but I do notice that it uses all the kids' weapons.
Yep.
So,
Right.
check.
Hours in the future.
A regulator becomes a renegade.
The recent past is recalled.
A temple is fled, and soon revisited. A nearby laboratory is also revisited. Its satellites dispatched.
Spoken John.
A sleeping boy is found, rumbling, ominous.
Whee!
The lab is in flight. Its exits inoperative. Another public servant makes a sacrifice. A citizen's safety secured.
Our saved John.
A tyrant is retreating. A battleship landing.
You remember who's on that ship?
Yep.
Grandpa. Mom and Dad are deposited on Skya. Grandpa is sad at his...
A grandfather mourns. A family tradition honored.
And we're almost near the end of this act. Right. See the queen.
A queen mourns. A kingdom bid farewell.
Hours in the future.
Her journey through the windswept must be walked alone. Her entourage bid farewell. A queen becomes a questant.
Then years. See the eggy looking base.
Yep.
Key that she had to unegg.
A key is employed.
Egg.
A command station repaired.
Music does not fit. Okay. She sees the gang. He pulls something out from under the wraps of his swingy feet, flappy dealy. A ring! I think Serenity is saying oh shit or oh snap or something.
Yeah.
Soon, not during Homestuck. all I would be doing is keyboard shortcuts. It's true.
Clicking.
Alright. There we see Vagabond. It also will be done in like less than 5 minutes.
A few minutes.
Yeah. There we see Vagabond holding the ring in his hand in the clouds. Back down to John holding the ring in his hand, seeing that's the trajectory of the ring.
there's another cloud.
In that cloud, we see Jade's tower.
And
Part of it
inside,
exploded.
a dark laboratory, unused for years. And inside, a fourth wall, plundered from a bureaucrat's office and absconded with years ago. It isn't turned on, but if it was, this is almost certainly what we would see.
And then we get another hellacious recap from.
We were not going to
we are
fucking worry about.
absolutely not reading this. Absolutely fucking not.
Okay.
It's just recapping from where we left off at the same length.
Yeah.
Absolute fucking madman. But the most important thing is at the bottom it says, and then I started working on Act 5. And that is the end of Act 4. That means 2 weeks from now we start what people claim to be the best act, Act 5. So, on July 5th we will be enjoying...
No, Renata, Ren, we had Orville read the last recap.
And Shrap got so pissed that
that he left. He had to leave.
I don't blame him.
Yep. I don't blame him either. So,
Hi,
yeah.
Sab.
Hello, Sabby. So yeah, sorry that you guys came in at the end, but we will start Act 5 2 weeks from now. All right. Are you in? Did you enjoy Act 4?
I did.
Yeah, a lot of timey-wimey shenanigans. But the name of this act is Flight of the Paradox Clones. So now you see who the Paradox Clones are and what that flight is.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So we'll reconvene 2 weeks from now.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go put a shirt on because I have not been having a shirt on this entire time.
Hell yeah!
It has been too fucking hot.
Man, Shrap should have stayed. I told him that there were tits.
Yeah, mine.
All right. Usually I don't rate off at the.
Put on my pasta shirt.
Did he leave a second time?
I don't remember him stating he left. I just remember seeing several alerts that he was playing Morrowind. Like some kind of nerd. Yeah, sympathies to Sab. Anyway, I don't normally rate off at the end of Homestuck streams, so...
I got stuff to work on anyways.
Yep.
And I don't think I've...
my dude.
Alright.
I also literally don't think I think I've once or twice rated out and then withhold and then left like immediately.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway, we'll see you next time. We love you. Bye.
Bye.